There we go. Hello everyone and welcome to this special stream. We got a little surprise right here, and today I was surprised by this. This was a surprise for me because my wife prepared this whole thing while I was gone. Yesterday we had our D&D night, so I was gone, and I didn't come back to the studio after I came back. And look at this little decoration there, and she got me this amazing thing right here, guys. So we're probably gonna have to be doing some sort of remodeling here in the studio to be able to place it there on the wall. It says Leal 3D on the bottom part. Looks very damn cool. So yeah, it's this was the first little big surprise here on the on today's stream. So yeah, let's see. Oh, it's very cool. It's very cool. Again, I'm probably gonna be remodeling the background here in the next couple of weeks. I want to move things around because I have a lot of empty places, so when I have a little bit more space, I'm probably going to be taking some of this bookshelves out and then just move things around, and we're of course going to have our neon sign there. Yes, that's right, Daddy Streams. Our logo, my logo, is a 20-sided die, a D20. Okay, so oh, Igor wants to... Thank you, Chila Kid, for the vids. Igor wants to know what the logo means. Okay, I'm gonna teach you that. That's a little bit of a story right there. I've told this one before. But back when I was at Noman, one of the things that they encouraged us to do was to create a brand. It was part of the process. And at that point, I created this blogspot, and I had to come up with a name, and I named it Critical Hit. This was, as you can see, back in January. No, not January. It was 2013, so it was like November. There we go. I'm not sure. It doesn't say exactly when it was, but it was like September or something. There we go, October 2013. And they encouraged us at that point there was no art station, there was nothing, so they encouraged us to post our work in here to just show to the world. I don't think anyone ever saw this, to be honest. But I created the name Critical Hit. When I came back to Mexico and I started creating my studio, I just took the name again, Critical Hit, and I knew that I wanted to have the D20 as the logo, but I wanted to simplify it. So instead of having the numbers, I just sort of reduced it, and the little circle represents the 20. At first, I didn't have any sort of background philosophical explanation for the logo. It just sounded cool, and it was something that anyone who has played games knows about, right? A critical hit. But after that, I kind of gave it a little bit of a twist. It's okay, you know what? I want to be that teacher that gives sort of the important push, the important hit, the critical hit to students, so that they really learn what they need to learn and improve on their career. So it was sort of our meaning later on. It's just a stretch, I know. It's not something that I came up with when I came up with the name, but yeah, that's when I came up with critical hit right there. But yeah, guys, the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you everyone for your kind wishes. Thank you everyone for being here. Let's go full screen. As someone right here in the chat is saying, it's been a little bit over a year since we started this project, and we're still going, and we're still growing, and it's going really nice, really good in general. There's a bunch of surprises that I'm preparing for the next couple of months. You might not see this because of course we just release things week by week, but David and I, we've been sort of planning things out in advance, so we have a roadmap of where we want to go, and it's all thanks to you guys. It's this huge thing, this huge project it's all been thanks to you, to your support, to your continuous engagement, to the likes, to the shares, to being here on the stream, talking, asking questions. All of these things that you guys have done are what keeps this going, and I honestly don't know how to thank you enough, because it's just been amazing. But who's David? Mihailo, how are you asking that question? Who's David? David is our community manager, plus a bunch of other things he does here with the program and with the project. You've seen him here on chat, David Sarn. And he's on the Discord all the time, encouraging you guys to be doing more, to to just keep pushing, keep grinding, and making awesome stuff. Yeah, David is the GOAT. I know I'm the face of this. I know you guys see me most of the time, but believe me, guys, without David's support, this wouldn't be possible. So I've always considered this to be a joint effort, a teamwork effort, and thank you David as well. Thank you for for being here. So, here's the thing, guys. I prepared something for you, and I think we're gonna open today's stream with that. You guys ready? Because I know it's my birthday, but I actually have a gift for you. So, let's go. This is a gift for you, my friends. This is for models, amazing sculpts, but really bad presentations. And I don't want you to have that in your portfolio. Therefore, I've prepared this course for you for free, the Portfolio Presentation Workshop. This is a short 2-hour course where I'm going to be covering things such as light, camera, composition, post-production, technical renders, and all of the things that you need to create a clean render of the amazing assets you are creating. In this course, we're going to be using Blender. However, you can apply this information to pretty much any lighting or rendering software. This course is completely free, no strings attached. It has the files, it has feedback available, we have an amazing Discord community, and hopefully it's going to give you all of the tools that you need to create amazing renders. Make sure to use this information and create amazing pieces for your portfolios. And don't forget, always learning, always improving. There we go, guys. There we go. How do you like that little surprise there? So I thought, hey, we gotta do something special for this birthday. We gotta do something cool. And I prepared this course for you. I'm about to have it live, so just give me 1 second. I just want to show you a couple of the things. But this is one of the things that I always mention during portfolio review. Like, there's amazing things, amazing models, amazing sculpt, but you guys are having issues with the presentation. So I thought, hey, let's do this. Let's just do a free course on how to present your work in a nice, clean way so that you can have a good shot at landing that job that you're looking for with your portfolio. So give me 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna go. Oh, let's stay here. I'm gonna do this on a separate tab. Let me very quickly go, guys, to our site, and I'm gonna enable the thing. Yeah, this is a short course. It's about 2 hours long. We have this cannon right here. It's UDIMS, so you're gonna be able to get a nice render right here. And it's a course to teach you the basics about, again, camera positioning, light positioning, how to properly calibrate your scene, and just get the best possible visualization on your elements, okay? So these things right here can be applied to weapons, can be applied to characters, they can be applied to props, they can be applied to pretty much everything. And I'm about to go here, publish. There we go, published, save, boom. The course should now be published, and you guys should have access to it. The only thing you need to do is register to the site if you haven't already, and that's it. You just enroll, and you're gonna be able to get here into the portfolio presentation. So here's the cool thing: we have beauty shots, right? So I'm gonna show you how to do, you know, cool different shots and close-ups. But one of the things that I really liked are the technical renders, because I'm gonna show you where do I have it? This one right here. How to get all of these renders. So I'm going to show you how to do clay renders, how to do diffuse renders, wireframe renders, normal renders, metallic renders, roughness renders, and all of these are relatively simple to do. And if you remember one of the good portfolios that we saw last time, which was the one from Hugo, I forgot his last name, but it was this very cool orc. He had this breakdown, and I thought that's excellent, because this shows you, if you can show this thing, this shows you that you know the process and that you know all of the important maps that you need for your asset. So yeah, this is completely for free, guys. I'm never gonna increase the price or anything. It's there. Just go, just go subscribe to it or enroll to it, and you're gonna be able to watch the information there. And I hope with that information you guys can make amazing things. Yes, no soy Lotus. The techniques that I show you here, they work perfectly fine for characters, environments, anything, every single thing that you can think of in 3D. We use this cannon because it's a model that I already had, and it was a little bit easier to just go with this one. But you can use it for whatever. Hugo Pessoa, there you go. Yeah, Hugo Pessoa, amazing artist, by the way, Kosaksu, amazing artist. So he had a really cool breakdown of one of his orcs, and I thought, hey, that's a great thing to share. So yeah, this is for you guys. This is my gift for you, for all of the support, all of your engagement, all of the amazing things you've shared with me. Because even though I'm teaching you some of the 3D stuff, you guys have no idea how much stuff you have taught me throughout this year. Like, my character development has gone through a huge boost in this past couple of months, because there's a lot of things that go behind the scenes, and it's thanks to you again that we can do this. So yeah, there we go, man. There we go. Am I making a speed tree course for foliage? That will be Ulfric. The speed tree part is going to be on the what's the word? On the environment course. I have speed tree right here. They've actually updated speed tree. It's now what's the word? It now has a different sort of like viewport and stuff. But yeah, we're gonna be using speed tree for the environment course. That's the point, man. That's the point, Will Master. One of the secrets of this life is because we only got one life, right? So it's give more. Just the more you share, the more you receive. So it's always amazing to be able to share this with you, my friends. Daddy stream, there we go. Thank you, my friend. You didn't have to, but thank you very much. Daddy streams here, gifting tier 1 subs to the community. Rixu, Side Effects, Theolite, Whooper, and Jay. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. Well, now it's time for the second surprise. David, we are gonna set up our giveaways, right? Well, we start working on our weapon. We're gonna work on a weapon today, and we're gonna go with giveaways now. So for those of you that don't know how this works, we are gonna be doing a giveaway inside of our Discord channel. So give me just 1 second here. Okay, so if you go to our Discord channel, there's this part right here, events. And here on the events, we're gonna have a bot in just a couple of minutes. David is gonna set it up. And once the bot is set up, you're gonna see a little thing with like a party popper, this little sort of like triangle thing. You click on that, and that is gonna register you as part of the giveaway. And in 1 hour, so we're gonna have 3 giveaways today, 3 giveaways. Every hour we're gonna be giving away one of our premium courses, whichever one you want, including the anatomy for artists, which is our newest release. So yeah, if you wanna participate, make sure to be here on the lookout on the Discord channel. We're gonna link the link in just a second. If you're not on the Discord channel, we have a waiting room. You're gonna have to wait a couple of minutes for David to give you access, and after that, you're gonna be able again to go here to the events section, and there's gonna be a little event right here. I'm gonna let you know as soon as David tells me that the event is ready, the giveaway is ready. I'll let you guys know, and then we start working on that. Okay? So let's see. Why is speed tree widely used for foliage? Is it because it's the only software no, there's actually other softwares. There's one that went free a couple of weeks ago, or like a month ago, and there are more 3D Maniac. Like I think it was called Bue, B-U-E, V as in like the V shape, and it's it's just that speed tree has a really good like pipeline to export, so it makes it really easy to export to the different like engines. Thank you, Animate. Thank you. Why not rework the Marvel Designer course? You're not going to tell the when we visit the government exportation. Yes, we can definitely go over there. If you have a specific question about that, Dr. Mo, send me a message on Discord, and we can talk about, because if that's something that really is needed on the course, I can definitely record like an extra video there to solve a little bit of that. Let's see. Is it easy to make a purple diamond material on Maya? Yeah, it's relatively easy. Just use glass. That's pretty much the right thing. There we go. Okay, so let's go to Maya. And today, as I mentioned, we are going to be working on this weapon that I need to download again. Called the... Oh, anyone remembers the name? Whoa, weapon... Shala... What was the name of that? Any like David, you knew the name, but I know you're busy setting the giveaway up. What was the name? It's the weapon from the main villain on the War Within. Let's see. If you have already got all the courses of sword modeling, I might recommend not participating on the giveaway to get someone else a chance to get the course. Xal'atath, there you go, Arenas. Thank you, guys. Xal'atath weapon. There we go. That's one right here. Let's download. Sit on the desktop for. It's weapon P. I hate weapon P's, man. Yeah, Xal'atath. There we go. Let me see. I don't remember if Maya now supports weapon P's. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. I hate this. I'm gonna have to do a hacky way here. I'm just gonna snip it. There we go. And save this. Go. Stop. Perfect. Okay, so one common thing that I get asked about question is how should you orient them? And usually you want the hilt, which is where the character is going to be grabbing it, to be there on the center of the what's the word, on the center of the world, because that's going to be sort of like the origin. And usually with characters in games, you're going to slot that thing, you're going to have a slot on the wrist, and you just parent one slot to the other, so it just snaps to the first thing. There we go. David's telling me that we have our first website here enabled. So we're going to be, what's the word, we're going to be starting that. So again, if you go to Discord and you go to the advanced channel, there's going to be this giveaway bar right here, and that's the party popper that I was mentioning. You click on that. We already have 32 entries, 33, 34, 35. There we go. So in 40 minutes, we're going to know who the winner is for one of our premium courses. Kosaksu, send me an email or send me a DM on Discord and we can sort that out, okay? Like normally, if you get it on Udemy, you cannot get it on the website, but we can find a way. Let's see. Courtesy says, happy birthday, sir. I'm 1992 baby as well. You're 4 days older than me. Can stay long on my way to PAX now. Oh, awesome, man. Awesome. Have fun there at PAX, Kurt. Thank you for dropping by. So, yeah, there we go. Now, usually for games or for this kind of weapons, you're going to have a lot of... this is a low poly game, or you're going to have a hand-painted look to the asset. So you don't really need to model everything. But I kind of want to do a high poly version of this, just in case we want to like 3D printer or something. The way I like to start is by using the mesh tools and the create polygon tool. And I just create my first polygon right here. Hit enter. Let's push this back, of course. There we go. And now Quattro. This is all about topology. And what we want to do here is we want to start capturing the silhouette of this thing right here. Of this blade. So we're just gonna go through the whole thing right here. Now there will be points, like what you're seeing right there, where the curvature is not enough. That's where you add an extra loop to really push it and make it a little bit more interesting, like that. This is a perfectly good way. I'm gonna show you something very cool once we finish the sort of like a low poly version of the blade that you can use to pre-visualize how things are gonna look. But this is pretty much it. What do you think about Maya's LookDev X? I don't do a lot of LookDev, to be honest. So, I mean, more tools is always are always welcome, right? But since I don't do it as much, I'm not sure if I can give you a good, sort of like informed opinion of how good or bad it is. See, LookDev you usually use in film, and in the last couple of years, well, not last couple, pretty much my career has shifted from what I originally wanted, which was cinematics, to game stuff. Now games are getting closer to cinematic level thanks to all of the advancements in technologies, but I'm more used to the to the pipelines for games, and you don't do a lot of like AGX in games. No, it's not an image plane. This is not an image plane, Shuvam. This is we're starting with a square, but it is working on the front view. If you mean that, yes, it is working on the front view. Thank you, Shiva3D, for the follow, and welcome to the channel here. There we go. Look diff is, that's a great question, Paras. Look diff is the process that you use to find the proper look for something. So, let's give an example. If you're, let's say, doing the blue guys from the Avatar movies, right? From James Cameron's Avatar's movies. And you don't know what shade of blue they're gonna have, right? It can be a dark blue, it can be a light blue. Well, you use look diff, which is just material exploration, texture management, procedural things, and you tweak things around until you find the specific like value or the specific look that you want for your character. So look diff is all about finding that, like making sure that whatever it is you're doing, it could be a prop, it could be a character, it could be a weapon, looks exactly the way you want it to look. That's the sort of like the definition of look diff. The skills that you need to have a good master of materials, so you need to know how to do materials properly. You need to also have a good understanding of what's the word, of render engines. That's very important. Render engines. There we go. Okay, cool. So now, as you can see, we have this flat sort of like dark purple area. Well, actually, the blade sort of like continues down. So let me finish the blade first. What's your opinion on... I have not played the game. I'm thinking about maybe playing it this weekend, but I haven't bought it, so I'm gonna have to buy it first. And then if I have time, I'm gonna have to play it, of course. RB Gaming, all good, my friend, all good. Happy to be here. So we're just gonna continue this all the way to the bottom. And we can refine this a little bit more. Most of this, as you can see, there's a lot of overlaps. We talked about this in a recent short, that you don't have to model everything from a single piece. People, especially beginners, I don't know where this sort of like information got translated or transmitted, that everything should be like box model from a single object. That's not how we do it nowadays. Maybe back in the day that was more efficient, but nowadays, if you need multiple meshes, that's fine. Have I played the Souls Saga? Only Elden Ring, to be honest. And it was hard. I haven't finished it, so... So yeah, okay, so here what we're gonna do is we need to fill this in. And again, I don't really care about topology on this one right here. I know that's gonna be like, oh, that's blasphemy. Why do you not care about topology? The reason why I don't care about topology is because I'm gonna be taking this into ZBrush, and we're just gonna be like dynameshing everything. So I just wanna have base mesh to be working with. So as you can see, I'm being super dirty here with my topology, because all of that section that I'm filling in is just gonna be flat. So again, it really doesn't matter that it's not like a perfect topology, okay? There we go. So we have this right here. The only thing we're missing is filling that hole, so double click and then mesh and fill hole. Boom. Okay, cool. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab those points right there, like all of those flat faces that I just mentioned. All of this guys right here. All of this guys. And I am going to graph, so I'm gonna go to multi mode, so that I can graph all of these edges on the outside. And now with W, I'm gonna push them out like that. See that? So that gives me sort of like the edge to the sword or to the dagger. I don't even know what this is. Is it a dagger or is it a sword? Not sure. I'm gonna delete this ones for just a second. I'm gonna breach them. Add a line right there, because that cut that we had that we were missing, we can add later. Right now, I just want to have a very straight like line or effect. And over here, we also need to fix a couple of things. So this edge right here, we do need to push out, rotate a little bit. There we go. So by doing that, now what I can do is I can just mirror this on the Z negative axis of the world. And there we go. We got our weapon. That's all we need, really. Like this part right here, it's all we need. Because from this, again, I can take this into ZBrush and we can just clean everything up. Now here it seems like the triangle actually ends a little bit closer, so I'm gonna grab these two guys, merge to center, those two guys, merge to center, so that I can move this point right there. I'm just cleaning the edge border right here. Okay. So again, I really don't care about the inside of the dagger right now because all of that can be very, very quickly fixed. It's mainly the silhouette that we were looking for. And down here, because we don't want to have any sort of like non-manifold geometry, I am going to grab all of these elements. I'm just going to bridge them together. Right? Add one line right there at the middle. And bridge from here to here. And from here to here. There we go. And over here we are going to have triangles. Triangles are not bad. People get very scared about triangles. Triangles are perfectly fine. Most important here is I want to have a center line. That's it. So if I need to mirror something, we're going to be able to do this. Now, this is the cool thing that I want to show you. Let's go here. I'm going to go mesh display. And then, sorry, UBs. And then planar mapping. There we go. And we're going to assign a new material. Maya. Lambert. And on the file, I'm literally going to reuse the same texture that we have right here. And the cool thing is, if we match this shell to the actual element, we can get a really good idea of how this thing is going to look. It's not going to be perfect, right? But one thing that I mention constantly is that, especially in production pipelines, it's a good idea to have a good preview of how things are gonna look, right? So in this particular case, this one right here already gives us a good idea. So I could literally take this to the animator and they can start animating things and they're already gonna visualize how things are gonna look. It's not perfect, again, it's just like a projected texture, but if you're doing like a cinematic and the character's fighting there in the background, you might not even notice. So this is a good way to do it, I would say, just to get an idea. Can you show how to approach very complex objects like JCB, tanks, and other hard surface? Break them down into simple pieces. Photoshop Guru, happy birthday! Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Do you know Jay Hill? No, I don't know Jay Hill personally. Like, I have not talked to him. I know who he is, of course. I definitely need to see that video. David actually sent that video to me a couple of days ago. I haven't seen it, to be honest, but I do need to see it. Okay, so let me just check the build of this thing, and yeah, it's looking good. Let's build a couple more things for this element, because otherwise it's going to be a little bit difficult to sculpt. And most of these things are super easy. So for instance, spikes, right? I mean, just that's it. We just position this spike where it's supposed to be, which is right there. We're gonna have to modify them. Actually, I might want to do this metal bit first. When I'm doing big objects like this, I always like to start with the big shapes first, and then the smaller shapes, because a lot of the smaller shapes are what's the word? They're gonna be easier to find. In order to do anything complex, Gotham, as a tank or JCB, you need to break them down into simple pieces. So if I try to do this dagger as a single piece, like a single mesh, it is possible, but it's just like way too much work. So there's absolutely no need to do it that way. So if you simplify things, it usually becomes a lot easier to make sure that things look better. So here, that's gonna be the handle right there. As you can see, the handle has a little bit of curvature, so I'm going to add a little bit of curvature. WoW weapons and all of the stylized characters, they usually never have straight lines. There's always like bevels and things like that to make the shapes a little bit more interesting. Today we're gonna stream for 3 hours, man, as usual. So we're gonna be here a while. We're gonna have fun. And we're having a giveaway. Remember, we're having a giveaway. Right now, we have 110 entries. There you go. So, yeah, if you want a chance to win that, go ahead. Let's take a look here. Go. So there we go here. I'm gonna grab this cylinder, and this one, oh, it's gonna be up here. Look at this. This one's gonna be fun. So see how there's like a bevel going in? This is where you need to really learn to read the silhouettes and the forms of your objects. So one thing that I see right here is that this cylinder is gonna have a specific thickness. It should at least be the thickness of the actual like handle down here. Otherwise, it's not gonna like it's not gonna be able to handle this thing right there. And then we have a bevel, like a break. So I'm gonna grab this vertex right here. This is a shortcut in Maya, which is Control Function F11, and then I'm gonna extrude in, and then extrude in again. There we go. Oh wait, I did not extrude in the first time. So Control E, we're gonna extrude in, and then Control E, and we're gonna extrude in again. There we go. Now this one we push in, and then this one we push out. By doing that, we create the light and the shadow that we're seeing there on the concept. Now this one right here, we can do a mirror, again, C negative, and it's gonna give us the same thing on both sides. Usually WoW weapons and a lot of, again, stylized work is mirrored, so you're only gonna do half of the weapon, and then you're gonna mirror it to the other side. Yes, for this one, Alan, I am using my mouse to do the modeling. Where did you get this concept? Just Google. This is from World of Warcraft, so it's a very famous concept. But it was just from World of Warcraft. I might need to do a pause in a couple of minutes because I'm getting a lot of messages on my phone as well. I just need to check some of them real quick. Okay, so now let's model this little cylinder that we have right there. This again are metal bits that are holding the letter. Again, overlaps. Don't worry about overlaps, guys. Like overlaps are fine. Like that really helps, and as you can see, it has good thickness to match with the upper part of the element. Control D. This one goes over here. This one's a little bit slimmer here on the bottom part. It's gonna be right around there. And now we need to do this moon shape, which again is very, very flat. And this is where things get a little bit tricky because the concept might have a little bit of perspective baked into the way that they are like making it, and you need to sort of like not get distracted by it, because for instance here it looks like there's like a line, right? And people might think that it's sharp, but it's not. It's flat. It should be flat, but we're seeing it sort of like in this 3/4 view, and that's why we're seeing this flat part. So again, similar to what we did with the blade, I'm gonna start with a create polygon, and I'm gonna create a polygon right here, just a single square. And now with Quadra, sometimes the polygons are created like in reverse. So you need to go mesh display and reverse. There we go. And again, now with Quadra, we are going to add this thing right here. Again, I'm gonna push this in a little bit more, or actually not yet, because there's that one does seem like a little bit of a taper. A little bit closer. There we go. Go. And again, I'm gonna ignore this line right there. Here's where you need to use your artistic sense and be like, no, that doesn't make sense. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna follow my sort of like my instinct, right? So we're gonna have a sort of like uniform looking like metal bed right here, going in this direction. Yeah, that's a great quote, Zephyrus. I'm gonna use that one. 3D is where you see how 2D breaks. Yep, I totally agree. Now it does taper, as you can see at the very end here. So it goes into like a little point. But again, if we follow our sort of like our basic logic, right? We need this to be at least bigger or wider than this blade right here. So either we make this blade a little bit thinner if this becomes way too wide, or we change it. And it also needs to be at least as wide as this thing right here so that it can like hold the thing, right? So again, Control E, I'm gonna push it forward. And I know that I at least need this one right here. And that looks fine, to be honest. I kind of like that one. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab... what can we do here? So I want to push this thing forward. I'm trying to see if there's a trick that I can show you here. But I don't think there is. Because you can see that there's a little bit of like a bevel going forward. So... I'm gonna grab these lines right here, Control E, extrude them forward a little bit. And then this line right here, I'm gonna bevel it heavily. There we go. That's the sort of like taper that we're going for, right? And now, of course, if I take a look at the concept, I can see that I'm missing or losing a little bit of the blade right here. So I might need to adjust a couple of things. So this thing becomes thinner and thinner as it goes towards the sort of like sharp point, without losing the flat area that we have there on the top. There we go. Again, you always need to like take a look at your stuff and be like, does that make sense? And I think it does. I'm gonna delete this line right here. I'm gonna grab this edge and snap it to the world. There we go. And I'm gonna go to mesh or edit mesh and merge. So all of the points that are really close together. I'm actually gonna increase the threshold a little bit. And there we go. We're just missing those two. Merge to center. I'm gonna press number 3 to see if we have any sort of like weird polygons. It's just like this hole right here. Not that big of a deal. Right view. We select all of the inner faces, delete them, and we mirror to the backside. So that right there is our metal bit. Again, we might need to like move or tweak a couple of things. For instance, here, it seems like this bevel is a little bit too far away. I'm gonna push it so that it overlaps a little bit better. But yeah, that's pretty much it. After converting polygon edge into NURB results, is it daughter Bercy? Can you? I'm not sure where you're converting to NURBs, man. Usually we don't work with NURBs. Yes, Elfinor, I totally agree there. The main role of a 2D concept art is not really to be realistic. It's to, as you say right there, portray something that looks very cool, right? Like the feeling. Like you want to see something and it needs to be a cool thing. I'm gonna go top view here. Oh, actually bottom view. Because I need to grab some of this vertex and play a little bit with the taper in. This is a technique that I show on the Maya course when we're doing the barrel, where you need to sort of like find the perfect curve for the barrel and you modify the components. This is where components play an important role. Let's go front view again. Just like clean this up a little bit. How do you feel about creasing to maintain shape-based support loops? At what point do you lead into SDS workflows versus skipping it? I usually, again, it depends a lot on the game or on the production that you're doing. I'm old school, so I don't use creases as much. I prefer to use Subdivision with like proper support edges. But nowadays with games, you're gonna be retopologizing anyway, so it really doesn't matter which one you use as long as the bake looks good. So if you feel comfortable using creasing and you can bake that crease down in the actual elements, like go for it. Let's push all of these guys up a little bit. And again, here's where we're gonna sort of like recover a little bit of that curvature. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. I think this one can be a little bit more like here. Now the challenge, or one of the challenges with this sort of like very low poly weapons, is that the silhouette is very, very important. So you need to make sure that the silhouette looks, well, as good as it can. Let's add a circle. And we're gonna rotate this 90 degrees. Back in the day, I'm talking again like the early 2000s when WoW was just like coming out. This sort of stuff, like you didn't really have ZBrush. Like you were not doing high polys, low polys. This is what you would bake into. Like you would do a very clean low poly, and then you would just like paint on top of everything. There you go, Muddy. Do you believe a game 3D portfolio could work for feature films? No, it's not. It's different stuff, man. It's different stuff. Smash 332, and that's a very good question and a very good advice that I've gotten throughout the years. There's two advices about portfolio that I'm about to give you. First, make sure you tailor your portfolio to what you want to do. So if you want to do games, you do game stuff. If you want to do film, you do film stuff. Now, if you want to do both, then, well, you can of course include both of them. But then comes the second point: never include something in your portfolio that you don't want to do or get contacted to do. So for instance, I know basics of rigging, I know basics of animation. I could animate something decent, right? Not for a big production, but for a small indie studio, I could definitely do, you know, your walk cycles, your jump cycles. I don't like animation. That's not something that I truly enjoy. If I have to do it, I'll do it, but I don't enjoy it. Therefore, you're never gonna see any animation or rigging stuff in my portfolio, because that's the last job that I want to get contacted for to get that sort of like thing. Okay, does that make sense? Yes, Leso, going after a concept, and this is very important, that's a great question. When you're trying to match a concept, it's not really about matching the concept perfectly, it's more about getting the spirit or the essence of the concept, because there will be things on the concept that cannot be matched, that they're just like ridiculous, they don't work. So it's perfectly fine if you see like, hey, this doesn't work, I'm just gonna adapt it as best as I can. Now, don't use this as an excuse, because I've had students that start taking like really intense liberties. So for instance, they're gonna be doing this dagger and they're like, oh, I don't like the spikes there on the center because they're gonna like poke your hand. I don't care if you don't like them, those are essential to the design of this weapon, so you need to include them. Or they're gonna be like, oh, I want to make this like way longer. No, you're now modifying things in a very like intense way, and that's not what we want to do. So you can definitely like modify a couple of things and change or adapt things. Like we do that quite a bit on the Oni course, for instance, because that concept is not as clear in certain areas, but that doesn't mean that you are free to just like modify everything. Okay, so I'm gonna push this out. As you can see, it needs to go through both elements right there, and then I'm gonna use the same trick here to offset this and push this forward. Huh, there you go, nailed it there on the on the size. Perfect size right there. And then we just mirror to have it on both sides. So that's the little like cylinder right there. Now, as you can see, this is again, work smart, not hard. So if I know that this spikes are all the same or pretty much the same, I'm just gonna do one first and then I'll do the others, right? So this cylinder right here, I'm gonna snap it there at the center so that's centered. And then I'm gonna look for an angle that it's easy to follow. So for instance, in this case, 50 seems about right. Go. As you can see, there's a little bit of a bumpiness right there, like it's a little bit round. It's a little bit smaller right there. Control E, push up, scale down. Okay, so that's right around there. Again, I need to check this, how this looks in terms of volume. So it needs to, you need to see it like crossing a couple of things. This tells me that it needs to be a little bit wider. We need to see this line right there, which matches with that line right there. Still not sold on this one, so I need to push this blade in a little bit more. Same for this one, so we can create the proper overlap. There we go, that looks a little bit better. Once we smooth things out, this is gonna change a little bit, although it's a weird thing. See that? Do you guys see that like weird shadowing right there? I'm not sure why that happened, but I might need to make it a little bit thicker. There. Could it be that we have a handgun? Huh. It's a little bit weird. Let's see. How does a character who possesses this weapon will hold it without being injured knuckles due to charge in the weapon? Yeah, I know. And again, there's this question all the time about realism before or against, or not against, or like the cool factor, right? So I would say this weapon falls into that category where you're looking more towards the cool factor rather than the believability of the whole thing. Let's fill this in, and we poke. Oh. Will you bevel it to keep the borders? Yes, we're gonna bevel some of the borders, not all of them, but we are gonna bevel some of the borders. For instance, here I do want to give it a little bit of a lip, a border. And then from that border, that's where this spike can come from, right? And then we can merge to center. And there we go. Now I'm gonna add a couple of lines here. And we can use those lines to just give a little bit more roundness to the spike. Now I'm gonna grab all of this guys right here, Control G to group them up. And that way I can like perfectly position them where they're supposed to go. Right? There. Control D, the group. Let's have it right here. Control D. Here, this one's a little bit smaller, so we'll make it a little bit smaller. Not too much. There we go. And finally over here. That's it. So now that we have all of them, we just need to make sure that they look good on their respective place. So for instance, this one right here, you can see it's way too low, right? So I might need to push this a little bit higher up. Same for this one. I need to be a little bit higher up. That makes more sense, right? Let's see, is it necessary to smooth every model at the end? No, it's not necessary. It depends again, tack on the pipeline. So for games, you don't smooth, but you do need to have proper topology. For subdivision workflows, then you do. Kirogi says, hello Abe, I think this is my first time, welcome. I've been watching your lives and YouTube videos, there's a time already, but I stopped making things in 3D a couple of months ago. I want to go back and start over. Should I start with that theory or can I do something practical? Practical. Art is very practical, man. So the more you practice as well as follow the theory, right, the better it is. Yeah, the course, the environment for Maya course is a really good one. Yeah, if you've bought it already, just go and do it, man. That's theory and practice at the same time. So yeah, definitely do it. Salam, yes, thank you, my friend, thank you. Kunal says, can you show us some knowledge on how to place hair cards? I have a video or live stream about hair cards, Kunal. You might want to look it up. There's like a goblin head. It's covered right now. There's like a little goblin that I did for that one. So yeah. Do you triangulate it for games? Yes, everything gets triangulated at the end. You don't necessarily need to triangulate it, I would say. Some people prefer because they have more control. I usually don't triangulate my stuff until I'm ready to export to like Unreal or something. But yeah, let's see. In my mind, this weapon is huge, so the spikes are not a problem. Yeah, I'm not sure how big this weapon actually is, to be honest. Let's now bring the other like spikes. It's gonna be right there. And again, the important thing about this spikes is that they need to fit there on the center and sort of be aligned to this ones right here, right? Because they're supposed to be like the exit point of the elements. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Something like that should be more than enough. Here, this one is telling me that it sort of like narrows down a little bit more at the end. So I'm going to grab this one. Just narrow it down. Again, create a little bit more overlap. And I always like to sort of like fade things out, so I'm gonna start again tapering things down in this direction right here. It's kind of like a dagger. Okay. Yeah, we can bring it into Unreal in just a second and check the size there. Okay, what are we missing? I think we're just missing this trim right here, which I'm gonna show you how to do very easily. I hope. I hope it's gonna be relatively easy. And then we are missing this spikes right here, right? So like triangle shapes. Okay, so let's go with this one first. That's a tricky one. I'm gonna start with a cube. I'm gonna rotate this 45 degrees. And then I'm gonna freeze the transformations and scale it so that we can create like a rhomboid shape. Then I'm going to delete all of the faces on the back so that we only have this front face. I'm gonna start doing some extrusions. So Control E, extrude in, Control E, extrude in, Control E, and extrude in. And that final point I'm just gonna merge to center. And this is what we're gonna have. We're gonna delete the face on the back. And then we're gonna start giving it the actual thickness that it should have. So this guy's push up, right? To create like the thickness of that shape, probably a little bit more. And then this edges push in. Go. It's like magic, right? Perfect. So now 6 more minutes for the giveaway, guys. 6 more minutes. Kirogi. Yeah. When you get back home, man, start working on that. Okay, now I'm gonna show you a very interesting trick, guys. Look at this. I need to change the topology because I need to bend this, right? Like I need to bend this sort of like crystal thing so that it fits with the round shape of this element right there. In order for me to bend this, I need to give it more subdivisions. In order for me to give it more subdivisions, I actually need to fix a little bit of the topology right here, because if I try to insert an edge loop, as you can see, it's not going to the other side. So what I can do is, actually no, there's not much I can do. So I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna add one at the half of each of these elements, and then I'm gonna bevel it. 2 segments or a couple more segments. There we go. That looks good. And then I'm gonna smooth it. So I'm gonna say mesh and smooth. This is gonna divide everything like multiple times. It's a very heavy mesh, I know that. Don't worry too much about it. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring it back here to the sphere. Let's center the pivot point. And I'm gonna use a deform non-linear bend to bend this guy. We need to rotate the bend deformer back, so 90 degrees back. There we go. And we can bend this guy so that it follows the curvature of the circle. Let me grab all of them, and there we go. I'm gonna push this forward a little bit. There we go. Grab the bend deformer, and we're gonna bend it just a little bit more so that it actually interacts with the object. That's it. Once we're happy there, we just delete history, freeze transformation, center pivot. Yeah, there's also the shrink wrap modifier. I'm just used to using the deform modifier, and as you can see, it matches now perfectly with the object. And of course, with this one, we're gonna mirror it to the other side. And to be honest, because I don't want to have like empty areas down here, so what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna, it's very stupid, but I'm just gonna breach from one point to the other. Like that's geometry that we're never gonna see. Once you retopologize, that geometry is gone. So it's just a way to make sure it's a whole watertight object, and we don't have issues, for instance, with Dynamesh, right? Dynamesh doesn't like things when they're too smooth. Definitely a lot easier in 3D Studio Max. Yeah, I've never used 3D Studio Max, but I do know that it has a reputation for being way better in the modeling department. So I will trust you on that one. It's just that I've been using Maya for so long that it's difficult for me to get used to another sort of the hell's going on there? Sort of like modeling pipeline. Okay, we're gonna do that. Perfect. So someone was asking about which parts we're going to be smoothing and which parts we're not going to be smoothing. So for instance, that one, or beveling. That one we're going to bevel. This one, this one, this one, this one. And this is just so that when we Dynamesh, because I'm going to be Dynameshing this inside of ZBrush, everything just like Dynameshes a little bit cleaner. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. I see a little bit of a pinch here and there. So this is very important. When you're doing this kind of weapons, if you see like weird shapes, this is where you might want to just like go into vertex mode and try to sort of like clean the shape a little bit. nicer, cleaner look. This is up here. This one I don't like too much, so yeah, this is where we can deviate a little bit from the concept in favor of a cleaner surface or a cleaner shape. And remember, this happens when you have a lot of points very close to each other. You gotta be mindful about that. You can use Blender GeoNode system for hair. It can be hard to learn, but it's very powerful. Yes, yes. Alan asked a question, I missed it. Do you think buying Maya is good investment for features like action? No, if you're doing it as a hobby, man, I don't think you really need to buy Maya. Blender is gonna give you like a lot of tools as well. If you are gonna buy it, make sure you buy the indie license, which is a lot cheaper. That's what I buy. It's just like, I don't know, 200 bucks or something per year. It's quite nice. What are we doing today, Salmeal? 10 seconds. We got the giveaway, guys. Let's see. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? We are gonna have our first winner for our first giveaway for today from our premium course of your choice. And the winner is... boom! Aspect ATX. There you go, my friend. Congratulations. You are the winner of the first giveaway for today, which is our premium course of your choice. Please just send me a DM as soon as the stream finishes. So if you want to send it already, that's fine. I'll take a look at it when the stream finishes, and tell me which course you would like to get, and I'll be giving you a coupon that you can redeem at checkout so that you can get the element or the course. So congratulations, Aspect ATX. And in just a couple of minutes, we are going to start with a new giveaway. So make sure to be on the Discord, be ready. David's gonna give us the signal in just a couple of minutes, and yeah, we're gonna get there. So let's go, guys. Let's go. By the way, someone was asking, what did you guys miss? Well, we have a very cool gift for everyone. Let me run the trailer real quick again, guys, while I check one very quick message, okay? Here we go. This is a gift for you, my friends. One of the most common things I see in portfolio reviews are amazing models, amazing sculpts, but really bad presentations. And I don't want you to have that in your portfolio. Therefore, I've prepared this course for you for free, the Portfolio Presentation Workshop. This is a short 2-hour course where I'm going to be covering things such as light, camera, composition, post-production, technical renders, and all of the things that you need to create a clean render of the amazing assets you are creating. In this course, we're going to be using Blender. However, you can apply this information to pretty much any lighting or rendering software. This course is completely free, no strings attached. It has the files, it has feedback available, we have an amazing Discord community, and hopefully it's going to give you all of the tools that you need to create amazing renders. Make sure to use this information and create amazing pieces for your portfolios. And don't forget, always learning, always improving. There we go. So yeah, guys, if you are just joining the stream, we got that little surprise for everyone. We got a new course, a new premium course, and it's free for everyone. It should be available already in our platform. So if you want to check it out after the stream ends, it's going to be there for you. So we're going to have 3 giveaways per us. We just finished the first one. We're going to have 2 more giveaways as we continue working on this weapon right here. So now let's do this little pieces right here. Now, here's where I always use the work hard, not smart, right? So here, I'm just going to reuse this one because it's pretty much the same symbol, right? The only thing that changes... actually, no, you know what? I'm going to have to do it again. The reason we're going to have to do it again is because we bent it. And since it's sort of like baked in, we're going to have to redo it. So again, 45-degree angles. There we go. Wait, did I mispronounce that? It's work smart, not hard. There you go. Work smart, not hard. Let's freeze the transformation. And we're gonna go over here. You need to join our Discord channel. If you guys wanna join the giveaway, which, by the way, is now on. The giveaway, the new giveaway is up here on our Discord. Just join our Discord. David's gonna give you access if you're not there yet. It's gonna take a couple of minutes, don't worry. And once you get there, go to the events tab, and there we're gonna have the giveaway. How? Oh yeah, Naive Otaku. Maya cannot export, for instance, this object right here. That's a great question, by the way. So if you want to export this object, which by default looks like this, right? Like this is the low poly version or the unsmoothed version, and you want to export this as looking like this to Substance Painter, you need to actually bake this down. So you need to make this a smooth permanent, because when you switch from number 1 to number 3, you only are doing a preview of how this thing is going to look. To actually make it look like that, you need to go to Mesh, Smooth, and you're going to smooth with 2 subdivision levels and hit Apply. It's gonna be very dense because that's how subdivision works, right? But now this is your number 1. Like there's no number 3 to this one. So this is what you export if you want to have this like super clean effect. Will you also stylize texture as... Yeah, I want to try doing hand-painted textures. I don't think we're going to be able to do it today. We're just going to do the sculpt or the high poly because we still would need to do retopology and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to eventually do this going with hand-painted textures. So I'm going to grab this one, Control E, offset, Control E, offset, Control E, offset, and merge to center. There we go. We delete this face right here, and same stuff. Let's grab this edge right here, push it out, and then we grab this one, push it out. And you got censored? Why? No, I don't think so. I don't see any message. Do you manage high poly or keep angons? No, you don't keep angons. Angons are awful. High polys are not bad. Again, it depends on the project. Some projects will allow you to have more polygons than others. But angons are definitely bad. Give this a little bit more depth. And the reason I need to give this a little bit more depth is because they're going to be on the center, right? So here I need to do a mirror. Z, I'm going to use bounding box. Apply. So that's going to be the little piece right there. Again, we need to make it a little bit more intense. Go right there. Make it a little bit longer. Rotate it into position. There we go. This one, of course, needs to be on the center line. Probably push it in a little bit more. Or one thing we can do is just grab this edge and just push the edge down. And then everything, I'm just going to give it a bevel. 2 segments in a small fraction. That's going to give me a nice effect right there. Again, center the pivot point and center there on the world. There we go. Even if it's flat side, I would not use angons. And the reason why I would not use angons, even if the surface is flat, is because angons don't play nicely with other softwares. So if you bring an angon to ZBrush, it breaks. Sometimes if you bring an angon to Unreal, it breaks. So again, it's better. It's way better or way safer to not use angons. That's just my my advice there. Okay, this one's interesting because, okay, look at this, guys. This is very interesting. Very interesting. Wow, I was not expecting to find this sort of like issue with this weapon, but it's really interesting, this thing. Oh yeah, no, if you triangulate, that's fine. Yeah. But if you just export as angon, that's where the problem lies. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Here's again where 2D and 3D start breaking, right? If we take a look at this spike right here, it kind of looks like it's on the center, right? Like we see it on both sides. But then if I take a look at this spike right here, it's actually on the sort of like flat area of the cylinder. But we know that this cylinder, right, if we see like a top view, has like the bevel and then like a flat area, which is where this cylinder is sitting, the handle. So this one cannot be on the center line because it needs to be on this line right here, which is right here, so that it matches with this one. But then that means that there's going to be 2 spikes. So this one would be on this side right here, right? It's just weird. It's one of those things that it's a little bit difficult to make sure it works. So here again, I'm going to go with what I think looks a little bit better. What's the best decision here if you are working on a studio or on a production? Just ask the art director. Ask the concept artist, like, hey, what was your idea here? Because it doesn't make sense in the 3D world, right? Or maybe I'm reading it wrong, which can totally be a valid reason. And once they explain, it's like, oh yeah, no, it's actually supposed to be like this or like that. Like, oh, okay, cool. But again, I think for this particular one, something like this will work a little bit better, because otherwise, again, perspectives don't make a lot of sense. And if you just like position this thing on a different direction, it actually doesn't even make sense right here. Like, this one would need to be like this to match the concept, and it just looks very, very weird in my opinion. So I'm just gonna have it right there. Yeah, definitely, that perspective can definitely be quite deceiving. Okay, cool. So we got most of the stuff ready here. Max G, thank you, my friend. Thank you. Shubham, I also think I have a video on the playlist on how to find the project or how to pick a project. You might want to look that up in the YouTube channel. I explain the types of projects that you usually wanna like see and find. So yeah. What if before beveling we duplicate the object and use it as a low poly and bevel one as a hub? Yeah, you can do that as well. But I really want to optimize this like super, super low. So I'm probably gonna be like reducing things quite heavily. Okay, let's go with this thing right here. First of all, let me assign a different material. There we go. Now, I do want to have a sharp look to this. So if I press number 3 right now, we lose everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the whole border, right, around the whole, like, thing. And I'm going to bevel. 2 segments and a small fraction is usually more than enough. And if I press number 3, you can see that, like, sharpness is looking a little bit better. And then, hopefully, I'm going to be able to insert an edge loop right here. And right there. And that should give me a sharper look right there. Awesome. Let me see if I can do the same thing here and here. There we go. Perfect. So that's giving me... It's getting closer. It's not perfect, but it's definitely like way, way better. Here what we can do, and this is going to break things. You guys are going to hate me. It's like, what is he doing? I'm destroying the geometry. But this is because we're going to be doing this as a high poly later on. So I know what I'm doing. It looks very weird, but I'm just like adding very sharp edges that we're going to be modifying in the, what's the word? In the ZBrush. Okay, there we go. We have this weird line. We don't need it right now. We're going to fix this in ZBrush again. So right now I'm just going to like try to move some of these points so that the curvature is a lot cleaner. Okay. Can use, yes, you can use crease. I mentioned this before. I am an old school guy, so well, not super old school, but I've been doing this with like this traditional method for a long time now. So this is what I'm used to. But yeah, you can definitely use what's the word? Bevel, if you find that to be easier to work with. Okay, cool. So as you can see, we get a nice shape right there. I see a little bit of a weird bump here. And this is because of my ugly topology. So I'm just going to try to relax it a little bit more. Oh, Sarn, you're going to save me here. Yeah, just saved. Yeah, I guess that was tricky, man. That was like 2 hours of work that could have easily been destroyed with a bad crash. Thank you, man. Okay. So again, just like modifying a couple of these points to get as smooth of a surface as possible. Now, you guys want to see a cool trick with the handle right here? What do you see here? What do you see with the handle? How do we call that? I know it's leather, but how do we call when something is arranged in a specific... That's the word that I'm looking for. That's the question, Somil. That's the reason why I don't like using creases as much. Because if some software is not compatible with the creasing options, you're like toast, right? Like you cannot do anything. Yes, say art, pattern. It's a pattern. We have a pattern. So if there's a pattern, that to me means that we can extract that pattern and just duplicate it a bunch of times. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my cut tool. I'm going to cut there and there. and then there, and there. And we're gonna delete everything else. Because that's the pattern, right? Like this sort of like braided pattern that we have right here. Now we just need to clean it up a little bit. I'm gonna select this edge and this edge. I'm gonna say edit mesh, detach. It's gonna separate the meshes. Then, that right there we need to delete. And that right there we need to delete. Control E. Extrude them out a little bit. And probably a little bit of offset, just almost nothing. There we go. Then we press number 3 right now. It looks very ugly. That's fine. Doesn't matter too much. Let's clean up some of the weird edges that we might have. If I see that we have some hang-ons. Again, they're not too problematic, but they could potentially be making some issues or some problems. We're just gonna grab all of the borders right there on the inside and on the outside. This is very important. I'm lost. Here we go. I remember when I was first learning about 3D, I had such an issue with the camera, man. Like I could not navigate with the camera properly. That's one of those things that you learn. There we go, Le Pulg. Thanks for the sub, man. Thank you very much. Go. I think we're good there. It's bevel. Yes, perfect. Right? We got that pattern right there. Now, let me show you. Oh, this is a cool trick. Oh, no, it's not gonna work. Bummer. I was gonna inflate it a little bit on the center, but since we don't have proper topology, it's not gonna work. So here, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab this right here, soft selection. I'm gonna change the options in soft selection to only surface. So soft selection, instead of volume, it's gonna be surface. So that it only grabs like one of these elements. I'm gonna have this one go in right there. Same on the other side. Actually, on the other side, I'm gonna use this one instead. This one's gonna go on top, so they can braid into each other. And there we go. So now when we grab this thing right here, I should be able to duplicate. Wait a second. Oh, we gotta. Forgot to delete those faces right there. Okay. So we just got this right there. Shift D. There we go. I'm not sure why it looks a little bit weird there. Maybe the pattern was not perfect. Oh, you know what? We're missing a... Are we missing like a bevel? Just gonna bevel that corner right there. There we go. Okay. Now here's another thing that I'm gonna do. This is important. I'm gonna go deform, non-linear, or sorry, lattice. We're gonna do a lattice. And what I want to do is I want the lattice points here in the center to be a little bit smaller, so that they fit a little bit better into the next one. There we go. So now when we duplicate and we have this one over here, there's going to be a little bit of overlap. See that? That's what we're looking for. So right around there. That way we can duplicate this a bunch of times, and there's always going to be enough overlap. And that also changes the silhouette quite a bit, which I think is nice. All of this is going to be baked down into a cylinder, so we are going to lose a lot of this sort of like a pattern. But it's I think it works. Makes it look a little bit more interesting, right? Now I'm gonna grab all of that pattern, and to bring back the interesting like silhouette that it had before, I'm gonna combine it into a single object. I'm gonna deform, and again lattice. I'm gonna use this lattice points right here. to give that sort of like interesting curvature to the handle. There we go. The history, first information. That's it. Let's see. What are we missing? Happy birthday from Unreal Engine Emeria. Thank you, my friend. Not very clean, Abe. What do you mean, Topi? Not clean where? On the topology itself? Yeah, it sucks because this is not the topology that we're going to be using. We're going to be baking all of this down. So we really don't care about topology right now. We just care about the forms and the silhouette. This one I think I'm going to push it. Yeah. It has self-select as well. I'm going to push that one and let's mirror it. Oh, interesting. Oh, God. Oh, you know what? This one is missing another mirror. There we go. Let's save real quick. Yeah, it's looking quite nice, I think. I think we're getting there. Now it's a good moment to, what's the word? Now it's a good moment to start giving these things a little bit more detail. So, for instance, all of the elements that are going to need a little bit of a bevel, we should add it before we jump into ZBrush. So, for instance, here, I'm going to grab this one right here, bevel. Here, I'm going to change the depth to 0. I do want this to be a little bit like tighter right there. And once I do that, I might even add a couple of extra bevels right there. So that it gives me sort of like a very hard surfacey edge to the whole thing. And again, work smart, not hard. So if I already have one right here, just duplicate it and position it back again where it's supposed to be. It's not, yeah, it's not one of my streams without allergies, man. Freaking allergies. Someone was asking about soft selection. This is where we can use it. For instance, if I want to make this a little bit pointier, I can use soft selection so that everything gets selected that way. There we go. Gives us a sharper look. Maybe that's a little bit too much because I'm already losing a little bit of the like nice connection right there. Go. That's it. Yeah, if you want to go to the live streams right here, so if you go to the Discord and you check the events on the giveaways, we have this one. We right now have 119 entries. Not bad. I think your odds are better than getting a 5-star in Genshin. So, so you have a chance, guys. You have a chance to get a free course right there. Cones, I hate cones. I hate cones. This one's right here because they're very difficult to smooth properly. So the first thing we need to do is we need to extrude this thing right here. Poke it so that we don't have angons. And then that border right there, we can bevel it. And we need to go to the right view or front view. And literally with the cut tool, we need to add some cuts along the line, especially right there on the very tip, so that when we smooth, we get like a sharp corner. I hate cones. Cones are tricky. There we go. Alejandro Murillo, what's up, man? Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, my allergies debuff. Oh, solid. That sucks. I started playing Genshin all the way back since version 1. Like I was one of the players back then because it was a little bit before the pandemic hit, if I'm not mistaken. And then when the pandemic hit, this was very funny. I would be teaching at universities and I would just like give the class 20-25 minutes of theory, show them the exercise, and then, okay guys, now it's your turn, do it yourselves. And during that time I would just be farming and doing stuff inside of Genshin. It was just like there was not much to do, so it was a good time right there. And yeah, my first 5-star was Klee. I got Klee on the first banner. And then I lost the banner. Did I lose it to... I think I lost it to Chi-Chi as well. Now, I just lost to Chi-Chi. I was pulling for Mulani, and I lost the 50-50. It's like, oh, fuck this. So now I'm going to save to see if I can get the Fire Archon. Okay, that was fine. This one. Let's see. Shrey 3D says, oh, sorry. I forgot to turn on the desktop audio back on. I've been vibing with the music. I was gonna say, oh, the music's so good right now. There we go. Music should be back on. Sorry about that. So, what was the question there? My portfolio having realistic things like your axe course, but also I like this kind of stylized stuff. Can I? Yeah, you can definitely add it. I wouldn't call the axe realistic. It's PBR, so we were using physically based render, but it's not very realistic. It's a like magical weapon, right? Realistic would be like a, I don't know, like a gun or something like that. That looks very military, very precise. Yeah, it was her. I have her at C4 now. So, yeah. I have most of the standard banner. The only one I'm missing is Deya. I have not gotten her. And most of the others I have at a specific constellation. Because they are giving away the new 5-star, right? So I picked Jean. I was missing her. And for the Furina team, she's very good. So I picked Jean. I have Deluxe C3, I think. Chichi C4, Kashing. I think Mona C2 or C1. I don't remember. There we go. What software should I use if I want to make PBR texture for games? So you pretty much have 3 options. Substance Painter is the one that's used the most, but it's subscription based. Marmoset now has some really good texturing options, and that one is single license, so you buy it. It's sort of like perpetual license. And 3D Code. I would say those are like the 3 big ones. 3D Code is like the underdog. It's not bad, but it's not well known. I do like the fact that it has this pay to own sort of like thing. I'm actually paying for my own. I have my 3D Code Textura here. This one is very affordable. I'm paying like $15 a month or $19 a month for 7 months or something like that, and then you own it forever. They do charge you an upgrade fee after 1 year, so if you want to get, so you finish paying it and then you get updates for 1 year, and then if you want to upgrade again, I think it's like $80 at that point. So again, I think it's fair. I think it's fair. What's new in Maya 2025? That's a great question. So one of the big ones I would say is the Smart Extrude. That one's a cool tool that we've gotten. There's some changes on the rendering engines. There's some improvements on Bifrost. There's not a lot of stuff. Maya, and I've mentioned this before. I love Maya. I use it all the time, but it has definitely been slow on the updates. I think that's the proper word, slow. And I think it's because they feel very safe as like the top software or one of the mostly or widely used softwares on the industry, and they're not being pushed to innovate and do more stuff. But I definitely feel that they are soft or slow, sorry. Slow on the implementation of new tools. Okay, almost done, guys. We're almost done with this basic version of the high poly. The next step that we need to do to pretty much finish this weapon right here and bring it into ZBrush to add more detail is to do the trim. So that silver trim that you see right there, that's what we want to do. And I want to try doing it a little bit different. No, I don't use Nuke for post-production, Anthony. I use Photoshop, and I've been using a little bit. I'm just learning a little bit of DaVinci Resolve. What Topi? What features do you think Substance is missing? Because I do feel like they have most of like the stuff. I feel like they have like a very strong thing here. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this thing right here. Well, I'm gonna grab everything. I'm just gonna Control G, and I'm gonna grab the blade. Control D, Shift P to get it out of the group. There we go. And then I'm gonna hide the group because I'm gonna be using this blade element as a surface. So I'm gonna mesh smooth this. There we go. That pretty much fixes any sort of like angles or things that we might have, and I'm gonna make this a live surface. So now what I need to do, as you can see, is I need to draw the trim that follows along the whole thing. So it goes here, here. I'm gonna do the main trim first. So all of this thing here, here, and then it stops right there. Okay. So the way to do the trim, I mean, there's a couple ways to do. I'm trying to think if I want to do it the fancy way with like a curve. I don't think we really need to be honest. So I'm just gonna use my quadro here. And I'm gonna start drawing the trim. I'm gonna try to be as precise as possible on this one. Especially I want to try to keep the thickness of the trim as uniform as possible. That's going to be very, very important. Because we're going to be adding a center line in just a second. And if we don't have a uniform... Like, it does change thickness. As you can see right here, it's getting smaller. But I do want to keep it as clean as possible. And it pretty much ends right there. And over here, we continue like this. I'm also guiding myself with some of those like lines that we have, the green lines, because that's where the blade actually sort of like starts its curvature, right? Using a little bit of both. It says, hi everyone, I hope you remember me from last 2 years. I'm not in 3D. I exited this world due to AI and due to financial aspects of this field. Something I feel to get back, still confused. Please guide. Oh man, that's a tricky question. I've been getting more and more AI questions lately. I thought that topic was dead. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but a lot of companies are ditching it. Like the guy that makes Procreate, he has pledged to never use any sort of like AI on their development. And Procreate is one of like the big like drawing and concept creating like tools nowadays, because a lot of like 2D artists work with iPads. I feel like yes, AI can definitely be tricky, right? Like I'm not denying that AI has taken away some jobs, but I do think that it's gonna die in certain areas relatively soon. Not everywhere, because it's still sort of like a strong thing, right? But I do think people are a little bit too fearful about AI, and if you are doing a good job, it gets more and more complicated to replace you. Like we don't really use AI here in our productions. Maybe for just like quick concept themes with like Midjourney, maybe some like a text writing with ChatGPT, but we still have artists that curate that information and make it work. So yeah. Charlie Catling, is there any reason to learn Maya from a Blender user perspective? The only reason why I would see that like jump, or I would suggest that jump at any point, would be if you want to work at like top studios, top like 3D studios where they're using Maya. That's pretty much it. Okay, now here the next step is we might need to tweak some of our stuff here because it's not matching perfectly to our current silhouette. So I'm gonna start like moving a couple points so they're right there at the border, because we're gonna be extruding this, of course. I want to make sure that this matches as close as possible. Thank you for the sub, Ink FM. Thank you. Oh wow, we're almost to our sub goal right there. If we get to the sub goal, I'll do another giveaway, guys. We'll do one more giveaway. So if you're here on Twitch and you want to help us out, make sure to hit that sub button. Also, by the way, guys, thank you. I had one little goal for YouTube, which was to get to 25k subs by today, by my birthday, and we did it with like 400 subs to like over that. So thank you everyone who's been supporting this project. Yeah, again, and David and I, we talked about this. I'm not saying AI is not a risk to our industry, because it definitely is. There you go. Google Earth, thank you for the sub, man. AI is definitely something risky to our industry. And here's the thing, not only our industry, a lot of industries, right? However, I don't do this only for the money. Like, the money is important. You need to make a living. You need to pay the bills. I need to support my family and stuff like that. But even if AI takes over completely and they start creating like AAA games with only robots and things like that, I'm still gonna be doing 3D. I might still do small games that might never be like big enough, And that's sort of like a philosophical stance that you need to take as an artist, because if you're an artist, you're not doing this because of the money, you're not doing it because of the prestige or the fame, you're doing it because you want to create, right? And again, I know paying your bills is important. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying that there's more to art than just like the business part of art, right? So you need to understand that if AI is going to take away all of the artistic jobs on the top industries, like Blizzard, Riot, and things like that, which, by the way, it's not. But if it's going to reduce that, well, that still means that you can do small things. Like, I'm going to show you one of my favorite games right now. Well, not right now, but one of my favorite games, like, ever, is Stardew Valley. I love this kind of games. When I was younger, I used to play a lot of Harvest Moon. It's a very relaxing game. And if you know the story behind this game, you know that the creator of it was a solo dev. Now he has a team and he has a little studio, but he's still a solo dev, or was a solo dev for a long time. So yeah, it's like, you can still do it. I'm not saying it's gonna be a guarantee that you're gonna be successful, but unfortunately, in this life, in this world, there's not the guarantee of anything, right? So it's a decision. Being an artist is also a decision. Something that you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna be an artist. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I become a millionaire or not. I just want to do it because I want to make art. That's it. And then if you do that, if you're good, you network, you find tools, you improve, you get more shots. Here's how I see it, and I'm not sure if the word is pragmatic, but I have a very sort of like pragmatic view of the world, where everything is like a math, right? And nothing is certain. So you can have all of the best possibilities out there, money to study and go everywhere, and even then you might fail. Like I remember I had a peer of mine who went to Noman. He was like what they call nowadays like a nepo baby, right? He was like the son of someone who was very rich, and he just didn't do anything with his art career. He finished the program, but his portfolio was, like not great, to be honest. I'm not even sure if he's working on the industry or not. And I always saw him, I was like, dude, you don't know how many people out there would kill for an opportunity like the one that you have right now, and you're not making good use of it. So unfortunately, life is that way. Like, you will have certain tools that someone else might not have, and you will not have certain tools that someone else will have. But the best you can do is use the tools that you do have and get the best out of them. That's it. And if you do that, I'm not certain that you will find success, right? But at least you did all you could. And to me, that is the definition of success. The fact that you took all of the tools that were available to use and you used them to the best of their abilities, to the best of your abilities, and you try to do the best you could. That's it. That's all you can ask for. So yeah, I guess that's my point there. Also, as Toasted is saying there, if, because I don't think it will, but if AI takes over the whole industry, it's not going to be soon. It's not going to be in the next couple of years. And as someone else here is saying YouTube, is that, what's the word? Is that there will still be people looking for other types of things, right? Like because right now there's still people that prefer a traditional photograph with like film and stuff than a digital photograph. There's still people that prefer to read a book than to buy the ebook, right? So the market might shrink. That's an unfortunate situation of how like human lives evolve, but that doesn't mean that art is gonna die. That's not how it happens. Shiva, there you go, thank you. Strainer, I'm not sure who you're referring to, if me or my peer, but yeah, there's people that, I mean, everyone has a different path in life. That has always been sort of like my take. Okay, so here, very easy, we're just gonna add one edge loop right there, and we're gonna push this edge loop out. That's gonna give us our trim. There we go. That's all we want right there. Now I'm gonna grab all of the edges from one side and the other. We're gonna bridge. Bridge. There we go. And this little triangle right there, we're going to bridge there and bridge there. Cool. Now, of course, if we try to smooth this out, it's gonna look like shit. So we need to clean this up. Actually, before I bridge, I might want to clean this up a little bit more. That's trying to think. It really doesn't matter too much. So here's what I'm gonna do. Again, bridge there. There, okay. I'm gonna grab that center line, side line, this triangle right here, this triangle right here, and very importantly, the corners. So this corner right there, this corner right there, and this corner right here. And we're gonna bevel 2 segments and a small fraction. There we go. So by doing that, create this nice trim right there. I am not so fond of some of this like pinchiness that we're getting here, so I might need to like modify here a little bit. Just give it a little bit more breathing room, a little bit more space. And now we might need to push some of those lines, especially in smooth mode, so they're a little bit closer to the border of the blade. There we go. Give me 1 second, guys. There's a very good question there by Alan. I'm gonna answer it in just a second. Antique Gamer, no, I don't have a course on Bifrost. That's a set of skills that I don't specialize in. I don't do simulations. I'm gonna start learning a little bit, but just for myself. Maybe in a couple of years, if I get good at it, I'll do a course or something, but not for now. Now, there's a bunch of other very talented artists out there that do manage simulations. There we go. Still a little bit weird on certain points. This is the slow part of things. Googart, if you want to do films, then Mari is definitely a very strong option. I would definitely encourage you to learn Mari. Again, I'm not really good at Mari, so I don't think I can help you there. I learned it a long time ago, but it's been quite a while. So yeah, No One Workshop has some really good Mari tutorials. You might want to check those. There we go. Okay, that looks way better. Okay, so the question that Alan is asking is, Abe, how do you handle the ups and downs of sculpting? After creating an awesome piece, how do you deal with the frustration of a less successful one? You know, the feeling of not meeting the same standard of the previous work. I totally understand that, man. It's just how life works. I've come to realize as I've gotten older that sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Sometimes it's gonna be a good piece, sometimes it's not gonna be a great piece. Even like top players, right? Like soccer players, basketball players, sometimes they have awesome games. And again, it's sort of like the mathematical thing that I sort of like have in my mindset. Like, you can never have the best of everything. Like, you cannot have a 10 every single time. Music bands, they cannot have what's the word, like every single like top 10 hit all the time. There's gonna be some songs that are really good, there's gonna be some that are not as good. That's fine, because you need, and this is the interesting thing, you need to have some shitty work and some bad work every now and then to really see the contrast to your really good work, right? I've done more than 30 courses, I think, between all of the different brands that I've worked for. And if I had to rank them, not all of them are like top courses. Some of them are like, yeah, I dropped the ball on this one. Like, I messed some things up. Like, it was not my best execution. I always try to have at least a sort of like a quality bar, right? So if we were scoring them, I always try to have my courses at least above 80 in a quality like number, which like 4 out of 5 or 80 out of 100, you're like, okay, it's good. It's not the best, but it's good, right? It's a nice one. So once you understand that and you make peace with that fact that, hey, yeah, like not every single time you're gonna have like a bestseller or like a hit, that's fine. Even I was mentioning Brander Sanderson earlier today. He mentions that it's like, hey, he's written like, again, like 30 books or something, and he tells you not all of my books are great. Some of them are better than others. And but if you like my style, yeah, you might have your favorite ones, but there's gonna be, again, like some ups and downs. Okay, so we got the main trim right there. Now we need to do a secondary trim that's going in this direction right here. So let's go back to surface. I promise we're gonna jump into ZBrush very, very soon. Probably the final hour. By the way, how's the giveaway? Are we close to it? 5 minutes, guys. 5 minutes for our second giveaway. 5 minutes. So yeah, if you just make peace with yourself that you're never gonna have like a perfect execution every single time, then it's easier to handle or to manage, I would say. even with games like again, if you take Legend of Zelda, right, which we normally think as the best games out there, like they usually win Game of the Year every single time they're out, you could still rank all of them and be like, yeah, this Zelda right here was not as good as this other Zelda right here, right? So it's impossible to have hit after hit after hit after hit. And that's also something that I feel people are like, we as a society, we tend to be too harsh to creators, because we tend to say, no, if you're that good, you should be like delivering amazing things every single time. It's like, no, dude, that's not how life works. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna happen. Like I'm gonna tell you a great example. My favorite band of all time, it's My Chemical Romance. I was like one of those emo kids back in the day. I love My Chemical Romance, love it. And from their discography, there are songs that I love in every single one of their CDs, but there's also songs that I hate, like I don't really like, and some of them might be like really famous one. Like for instance, there's this the I Don't Love You from the Black Parade. I hate that song. It just doesn't vibe with me. I don't like it. And it got a clip and everything. Some people really like it, so it's fine, because you're not gonna like every single thing that someone does. And in the same way, yeah, you need to understand that like there's always ups and downs in life. Let's do mesh fill holes to fill the holes. There we go. And now I'm just gonna add a trim, same as we did before, on the borders and caps. Go, and over here on the borders and caps. There we go. Bevel, 2 segments, a small fraction. Perfect. Now we smooth, as you can see, that complements the trim right there, giving us the curvature that we're looking for. I kind of want to remove this edge right there. I don't know. Maybe I just want to again clean up the curvature here a little bit. So I'm gonna go to vertex mode and just give it a nicer, cleaner effect. Let's see, MCU enters the topic on failures. There you go. Yeah, like the last couple of years, most of the MCU movies have not been great, right? And you can blame to a lot of different things, but that doesn't mean they're not good. That's my point. Like, yes, we're not at the peak that we had with Infinity War, but for instance, I enjoyed the Marvels movie. I like Captain Marvel as a character, so I enjoyed that movie. I enjoyed Eternals, for instance. I enjoyed, which other one did we see? Ant-Man Quantumania. I know everyone shits on that one. I had a good time. It was fun. So sometimes you just gotta see things for what they are. They're just like an entertainment piece. Not everything has to be this sort of like epic, glorious, like philosophical battle or whatever, like what we had with Thanos. So yeah. Now we have a couple of extra details here. So like a triangle or something. So I'm just gonna add it real quick. It's this like square thing, and there's this other one right here. You guys see it? So they look like extra little again, like trim things. I don't know. I'm just gonna extrude them, push them up a little bit, not too much. Like I still want the trim to be the main sort of like thing, but I'm gonna hide it there with a little bit of an overlap inside the trim. Now it's a good moment to delete this thing and bring back our group to see how they're laying with each other. This phase we might need to rotate a little bit. Right around there, I would say. Gonna scale it to the world, just maybe push it up or out a little bit. I don't know, I'm not totally convinced with this one, to be honest, with this piece. Seems like an extra little guard or something that we have there. I mean, it's probably gonna help with the silhouette, so I'll keep it. So let's, over here. This one we're gonna push in a little bit there. Go. Okay, So now this, guys, we're gonna mirror to the back part, and then we're just gonna bevel everything. So we get this like extra little armor pieces right there. And that's it. With that, my friends, we're pretty much finished with the sort of like high poly base mesh of the element that we're gonna be using to sculpt. Oh, we have a winner! Oh my god, sorry guys, I completely got... There you go, so AK3112, my friend! AK3112, congratulations! You are the winner of our second giveaway for today. We are gonna have more giveaways. Yes, Naive Otaku, we're gonna have one more giveaway. We're waiting for one more giveaway. And the next one's gonna be, let's say... What do you say, Sarn? Let's do 30 minutes. Let's do 30 minutes for the next one right here. Let's go for this. 30 minutes. We're gonna prepare the next one. Congrats, AK3112. Please, AK3112, if you're watching this right now, make sure to send me a DM on the Discord. I'm gonna contact you as well because we have your Discord name over there. So I'm gonna send you a DM if you don't send it first. And tell me which one of our premium courses you wanna have as your prize for this birthday giveaway. There we go. Not bad, right, guys? So that's it. Our weapon here is ready to go into the next stage. And what was this? 2 hours? 2 hours and a half, roughly? I think so. Do you think Nigerian 3D artists... Guys, you can be a great artist no matter where you are in the world. But here's the thing, and I do want you to listen closely to what I'm about to say. Due to how our world works, and I'm not an expert on world politics or anything, it might be complicated for you to go, if you're in a specific part of the world that has a difficult migrating to some of, like, let's say, more modern parts of the world, like Europe or Canada or the US, it might be difficult for you, right? Because studios who are local, like if you have a studio in Canada, they usually want to hire Canadian artists. If you have a studio that's in France, they usually want to hire French artists. So it's not impossible for you to go there and get a job. But I always ask you this question: what's stopping you from starting your own stuff where you are? Like, you can be a great artist where you are and start a small industry where you are and be known as an important, like, member of that industry where you are. There's not always the need to go out there and to go to a different studio. Like, you are free to pursue your own road, your own journey, okay? So keep that in mind. That can definitely work. The winner's account looked like it's an alt account. Yeah, unfortunately we can't. Well, I'm not sure if it's an alt account, Snixie, because we are like doing this giveaway and there's new people going into the what's the word? Into the Discord. I try to be as honest and as clean as possible, man. Like, this thing is random. I don't have control over it. This is just to help the community out there, okay? So there we go. The next giveaway is ready, my friends. The third giveaway for today is on, so make sure to go to the Discord, make sure to get your entry right there, and yeah, let's see if you guys can win one of our premium courses. There we go. Okay, so what are we missing here? You guys want to see this weapon instead of from Real before we jump into ZBrush, or should we jump into ZBrush? What do we do? I wanna listen to you. How to enable displacement mask in Substance? I've showed that before, man. It's not difficult. ZBrush. Unreal. We're half and half right now. 50-50. Unreal. Yeah, let's do a quick Unreal. I'm gonna do a quick Unreal. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to duplicate everything. I'm going to combine that duplicated mesh, and I'm going to smooth it. So mesh is smooth. It's gonna be quite heavy, right? As you can see, it's almost 500,000 polygons right now. But we can use nanite, so I don't really care too much about the resolution. Again, it's right where it's supposed to be, so the pivot point right there, it's gonna work instead of Unreal. Let's export this selection. I'm gonna have it right here. Let's call this Unreal Test, and let's open up our Unreal launcher. Sculpted in Blender? No, man. Why would I do that? It's my birthday. I don't want to suffer. Nah, it's fine. Like, Blender sculpting is not bad. I'm not gonna deny it. It's a good thing. What the hell? Commercial. Wait 1 second. There we go. No UVs, no UVs yet, because remember, we're doing the high poly. We're not doing the low poly yet. So let's go here to this demo project. Oh my god, when was this done? Okay, I'm gonna have to convert it real quick. I could have gone to the BF template right there. Anyways, yeah, it's saved. It's saved. I saved the file. So this is the high poly, and this is the low poly that we're gonna take into ZBrush so that we can add a little bit more detail. It's just a very, very simple detail that we're gonna be adding, because as you can see, it's not really complex. And that once we have that, now we can do the sort of like a retopology process, right? Hopefully it doesn't take that long to load. Oh, let's see some questions here. Blender, you. No. I've shared this position before, guys. Blender is an amazing software. If you're gonna be, what's the word? On an indie studio or working on your own, solo dev, stuff like that, Blender is an amazing, amazing tool. I wish Blender was as good as it is today when I first started. So there we go. So as you can see here, we have our character. This is the Blender axe from the Blender course. We did a video on how to get it in and just like connect everything and just like set it up. Of course, not all of the animations are working properly, but we're going to be using this as our sample file. So let's just bring it in. Build test right here. Should we do nanite? Let's do nanite. Why not? 3D artist, thank you, my friend. Thank you. No. If I really hated myself, I would be sculpting in Maya. No, screw that, man. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, Alan. I'm gonna have it right here. So as you can see, this is the lava axe. It's very big by default. Like the scale was not done properly on the course. That was sort of like intentional because we were not like thinking about this really. And this is the Unreal test, which is really small, really tiny and small, but it looks good, right? Like all of the shadows and all of the elements, all of the parts look good. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to go to the third person character. And here on the third person character, if we go to the viewport, you can see that right now she's holding that axe right there. So I'm not going to delete the axe. I'm just going to hide it. So here on visible, I'm just going to make it not visible. Same for the particles. The particle system, I'm just going to turn this audio activate off. So I'm going to add a component. It's going to be a static mesh component. So this one right here. And this one's going to be appended to the character. And then on the options over here, I need to select what static component I'm adding. So in this case, it's going to be the Unreal test. There we go. And now it should be somewhere. Not sure where. Oh, it's very small, right? Okay, so it's there, but it's very small, as you can see. So I'm going to go to the scale, and on the scale, I'm going to set this to 1. That's a little bit better, but still too small, so maybe 4. Yeah, that seems more like it, right? What do you guys think? Is that a good scale? I think that's a good scale right there. And what we can do here is on the parent socket, since this thing is attached to the mesh right here, I can just look for a parent socket, and I can look for right or how is it called? I always forget how the I always forget how the socket is called. Where is it? Hand R. There you go. Nope, it's not it. It's really weird. What's the socket? Weapon R muscle. I think it's hand. It should be hand. Let's try hand R again. And then what I need to do, because now it's attached to the hand, but now we can sort of like have this sort of like constraint. Let's rotate this, rotate this, rotate this. Yeah, it's the hand is right. It's just you need to offset it properly. There we go. There we go. There we go. Are there usually 2 of this? People who are playing World of Warcraft right now? Does the character have 2 of these blades, or is it just 1? Because if it's 2, we can definitely add a second one. And that's it. We just compile, and if we hit play, boom. Dagger is on our character's hand. It's not cutting her, I think. A little bit. Just hitting at her a little bit. That's why the animation is, of course, not, what's the word? It's not properly calibrated, right? We can do more stuff. I don't want to do it right now. Just 1. Okay, just 1. Perfect. So, yeah, that's it. That's how the dagger would look in-game, pretty much. Of course, this is not an optimized dagger. It has no textures. It's not really, but there we go. We're 10 followers to get to 1800. There we go. Very cool. Very close to the followers goal as well. Yeah, we're very close to the followers goal, and we're very close to the subs goal here on Twitch. So thank you everyone who's watching right now. Nice, nice. Repsugar says, happy birthday, Ave. Thank you for the videos. Very helpful in continuing more about the 3D journey. Thank you, my friend. She's having her sideburns. Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna definitely destroy that. But yeah, this is it. Tylene, thank you. Next week I'm gonna be your student from the university. Oh, you're enrolled in the Universidad Carolina then, in the LCT. What term are you in? Are you gonna start the modeling track? Term 3, probably. Right, Quatri 3. Nice. I really want you to do your homework, huh? We have a little bit of an issue there with people not doing the homework, so I hope you're not one of those and you do your homework. We're gonna have a checkpoint next week. We're gonna meet and everything. But make sure to do the homework. Please do the homework. Okay, cool. Alan, right now I'm teaching at a university called Digital Invaders. You can look it up. It's here in Mexico. They both have a physical, like a traditional career or degree, and they have their digital version. I've taught before at XP Academy as well, and I'm also gonna be a mentor at the Think Tank. So yeah, so a little bit of everywhere. You have the course, but we have not started it yet. Evil Fry, gotta do it, man. Okay, now let's go. Let's save that real quick, and let's go over to ZBrush. Finally gonna go to ZBrush. Actually, guys, I'm gonna have to go to full screen because I now just remembered that my ZBrush license is on my laptop, so I need to do the transfer. So give me 1 second here. Yeah, it's gonna be the ZBrush for iPad. I was really hoping that they were gonna do the release like the 1st of September or something, because they're gonna charge us for for that starting September. So let's see what that works there. Smash 32, that's a great question. How do I got those works for a teacher as a teaching thing? That's networking. I've been teaching for almost 10 years or more than 10 years now, and someone found me. It's like, hey, you do cool 3D. It seems like you can teach. Do you want to teach? I was like, sure, I'll try. And then I started learning about teaching as well. So yeah, it's been an interesting career path there. I've mentioned this before. I was not expecting to become a teacher or an instructor when I started my 3D career, but I have, so not much I can do it now. People tell me I'm a good teacher. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope I am, and I hope I can, like, no, you don't really need a special degree for teaching. I mean, in some careers, yes, right? Like if you want to be a primary school, secondary school teacher, then yes, you need to learn how to be a teacher. You can just like show up and that's it, because there's some like techniques and things that they teach you. But I think for this kind of like specialized skills that I teach, it's more about like how well you know your subject, how well you can show it on your portfolio, and how well you can connect with the students so that you can teach that. And that's the kind of, like, I think that's one of my strong points. And I was listening to, you guys know Gary Vee, right? Like, I really like some of his stuff. And he was saying something like that. It's like, hey, people worry too much about the things that they're bad at when they should be worrying about the things that they're really good at and like doubling down on that. So that's what I've been doing. Like, say, hey, if I'm good at teaching, I'm just gonna teach. I'm gonna keep doing 3D, but I'm also gonna teach, right? So yeah, that's a little bit of that. What's been the most difficult part on your 3D career? That's a great question. That's a great question. Wow, I think that's the first time they've asked, like, someone asked me that question. What's been the most difficult part? So while I was like, there's a couple of different answers I want to give. When I was at Noman, being away from my family and my friends, living in an unknown like city with a different culture, different ways of living, that was tough. Like, I remember at the end of the second year, before I started the third year, I was about to call it quits. It's like, no, you know what? Like, this is it. I just want to go back. I just want to be with my family and my friends. I can't do this anymore. And my parents were like, no, dude, like, you're already there. Like, they told me something similar to what I told earlier. Like, do you know how many people out there would love to have the opportunity that you have? Make good use of that opportunity. Make good use of the options that you have right now, because it's going to be, you're going to find a reward later on somehow. And I did. I stick through it, but it was difficult. Like, mentally speaking, emotionally speaking, it was difficult to be away from my loved ones for a long period of time. So that was a what's the word? That was a tricky situation. And then another thing I think, Kosakisu, that was difficult at one point, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, was realizing, and I've mentioned this in a short not too long ago, it was realizing that there's different ways to be successful, right? So I realized that we get indoctrinated too much about the fact that success is only found with money, or success is only found with like big projects or things like that. And again, as you get older, you realize, like, that's not entirely true. Yes, that is one definition of success, and there's some people that are looking for that specific definition of success. But realizing that I can create my own definition of success and I can pursue that success made me so much happier. So much happier. So it was difficult to find like that transition and realize, like, hey, yeah, like, I don't need to follow that path if I don't want to. I'm free to do something else, right? I'm free to try something different and carve my own path, find my own journey, do my own stuff. That gave me a lot of freedom personally, and that's something that I encourage everyone to look up for. Because yes, working on big projects is successful and it's something cool. Having a lot of money is cool, but there's also a lot of other cool things in life. Being a parent, right? Like having a kid, getting married was like a big thing for me as well. So all of those things are important as well. Gary Vee is probably the best one out of the finance guru people. He does say some absurd. Yeah. Yeah, he's got some opinions on some things that I don't agree with. And again, that's one of the things that I've mentioned before. Is like, hey, like, you don't have to agree with everything someone says. Like, I'm sure you guys agree with some of the things that I say, and you might not agree with other things that I say, and that's perfectly fine, because that's how we grow and that's how we learn. But he also has some really interesting points, and I really applaud. One of the things that he mentions is that he started his journey, his like career path as something different, as an influencer and stuff like that, when he was 34. So he was old technically, but what we normally call age. Well, it's not old. Like, now that I'm 32, I just like, that's not old. But it's interesting because he started late, right? And he's like very successful. So yeah. Any tips or a course for retopology specifically for props? I feel the most topology. Yeah, dude, I have one. Hey, there you go. If you guys are just joining, we have a new free course. It's going to be free forever. This is a gift for me to you guys. It's the portfolio presentation workshop. But this one right here, the complete guide to retopology. This one is the yeah, it covers topology. And one of the first exercises that we do is not a character, it's a prop. It's this like Triceratops thing. And on this character, the alien character, he has some props that I show you how to retopologize as well. So I'm pretty sure you can find some valuable information with this one. You also become bitter when doing things you don't love. I was a senior software engineer at a large company making 6 figures, but I was super unhappy. And that story right there, stranger, I've heard it so many times. And I think that's one of the things that Gary says. Like, he says that he see something in the future where people might not be making bank, like they might not be winning a shit ton of money out there, but they're gonna be happy, and he prefers that. He sees that as a plus, right? Now let's go here to Maya. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna export all of these things. Well, first of all, I want to combine a couple of them. So for instance, all of the all of this guys right here, I'm gonna combine similar things that I could just have as a single subtool, because otherwise there's gonna be too many subtools. So all of those guys right there combine into a single object, and then like this handle right here combine into a single object. This thing right here, all of this one's probably combined into a single object. The trims, small ones right here, combined into a single object. There we go. So now we have the blade, the trims, the handguard or whatever, the handle, the details, and this thing right here. So we grab all of those elements and we're gonna export. This is a very important file. Export selection. We're gonna export this in FBX. Let's call this. What's the name of this thing? Oh, let's just call this WoW Dagger. And it's important that we do this as an FBX, because when we export them into ZBrush, or import them into ZBrush, we're gonna have a different subtool for each of these FBXs. Yeah, I also, what? How do you get your ZBrush UI? Yeah, it's a custom UI. This one that I have right here. Hell, ZBrush? You're dying? There we go. It's a custom. You can actually get it for free. It's on my in the resources folder of the Discord. There we go. So as you can see, we get some stuff right here. This is where things break. This is why angons are so bad. So I can see one break right there on the, it seems to be only that thing right there, but I'm guessing it's going to be here on the top part as well. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a mesh smooth before we export. Yes, it's going to be heavy, but again, it's going to fix any angons that we might have right there. This is just like a cheap way to fix the angons. Let's import again. Dagger. There we go. I was interested in that folder while you were browsing that said all the secrets to becoming to master 3D dwelling the never. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see. So this one's the broken one. Let's delete it. There we go. And oh, wait a second. Just messed this up. Let's go here. Let's import again. No, I don't think I do have. I'm not gonna lie. I do have a couple of little secrets here. There's like, oh, this is still valuable. I don't want to share it just yet, or I'll share it, but I'll share it within one of the premium courses. But it's very, very few, to be honest. It's just like one small little trick here and there. It's like, oh, I find this one to be a little bit valuable, but I don't have a lot of like most of the stuff. It's like, even I remember my wife telling me, why are you sharing that? That's too valuable. It's like, it's not. It's like they can, like, people, you guys can find this. Like, it's not unique. Like, I'm not, I didn't discover anything in the 3D world. So it's like, yeah, I'll share it. It's fine. Because it's not about the technique or the tool or the tip. It's about how you implement that. That's the important part. That's the secret. And I remember, I think it was Gary B or some of the other like gurus or top guys that I follow. They say this very frequently. Like, all of the information is out there. All of the information is out there. It might not be out there in the way I explain it, but it's out there. Like, even if you just go to the documentation of the softwares, it's gonna be a little bit more boring to find that specific point, but it's out there. Okay, so now let me open PureRef because we need to see the file again. Edward Mel is saying the same thing. It says, that's something that happened to me 15 years coding, and then I decided to migrate to game art. Basically, I was back to the beginning because my first thing was game. Yeah, and this is something, I'm gonna share something here with you guys. And when this is something that my father told me when I was first starting like this career. And I was talking, I was in my first job. I'm not gonna say where, but if you like connect the dots, you might know where. And I was telling him, it's like, I don't understand how some people that are there working with me, some of my peers, are happy with the level that they had, because we were not like a super like advanced studio back there, or the studio was not super big. There were some very talented people. Some of them now are very talented as well. But I also saw people that were happy doing very simple things. Again, like barrels or benches or like a hydrant and things like that. And my father told me something that broke my brain back then. He's just like, oh, you know, he told me, you want to know a secret? You might go to Noman and you might learn super advanced stuff, and you might learn how to do ridiculous, like amazing 3D things. And after you do all that, those people that are still doing, again, barrels, benches, simple things, might still be happier than you. And I was like, what? How? Why? Right? So later on in life, like, I didn't understand it back then. I thought my dad was crazy. I was like, nah, that's crazy. Like, how would be the how are they gonna be happier? But then again, you get older and you realize that, again, the definition of success that you have is completely different to the definition of success that someone else have. So it's not about what you do or what you know, it's how you live your life. Now I'm happy. Now I'm really happy. And I get this question from some of my peers, and they're like, why are you not working at a top 3D studio? Because I don't want to right now. Right now, I'm really happy with what I'm doing. I'm really happy with my indie studio. I'm really happy with the courses. I'm really happy with the YouTube channel. Like, it brings a lot of joy to my life to be doing what I do. If that's not the definition of success that you want for yourself, that's fine as well. And that's what took me a long time to understand. It's a deeper thing, I think. It's not something that you just learned on a class or something. It's something that you need to live through. Like, oh, this is, I'm getting emotional. To me, for instance, having the flexibility and the freedom to spend time with my kid, to spend time with my wife, to spend time with my friends and my family, I cannot put a money like thing to that, right? Like, I cannot evaluate that. So yeah, it's it's interesting, guys. It's a beautiful feeling once you find something that you're really passionate about. And I find, for instance, all of the support that you guys give here to the project, the channel, and realize, like, damn, like, I couldn't ask for more, right? Like, I'm living with my family. I'm enjoying seeing my girl grow. I'm having a good time, and I'm doing 3D, and I'm telling stories. It's just, wow, so many things. Yeah, this is the philosophical, exactly. You cannot put a price tag on quality time. You cannot put a price tag on what makes you truly happy. By the way, thanks for the sub, man. Swag me. SW Game G. So yeah, it's this is the kind of stuff that I feel it's also a little bit a part of myself, and has helped me with the way I explain things and with the way I share things. Because a lot of the times we just forget about this. We just forget about the really important things. We focus too much on AI. We focus too much on the software. We focus too much on being the best. And we forget that so many other things out there. So many other things. Okay, let's go here with Knife Curve. Let's save this before we crash this. Because this might crash. Now I definitely need to... screw you guys, you made me go emotional now. I'm getting teary and everything. But no, these are topics that I feel are important to share and to explain to people, because the world is a complicated world. Oh, there we go. Animation 3D. Hey, we're in the hype train now. We're in the hype train. No, but I'm crying. I'm not crying, like, bawling, but I'm definitely getting emotional because these are so important topics. And I'm not sure what you guys think about, like, the afterlife and, like, stuff like that. But, I am one of those that do think that we only have one life. So being able to share that life with you guys right now, like this part of my life at this point, is so... I feel so privileged and lucky to be able to... yeah, to just share this and have fun. I'm using the knife brush here to cut now. Let's go back to let's go back to some 3D. Otherwise, this is gonna go way too deep. So let's go back to 3D. I'm using the knife brush here. Control Shift, click, and then you just double tap and create this little angle. And whatever is on the gradient of that angle, it's gonna be removed. Super cool brush. They added this a couple of years ago. One of my favorite ones, especially now that we are inside of Dynamesh, right? Like I just Dynameshed this whole blade. We're back into this point right here. Yeah, welcome to motivational mode. 2 minutes till the winner, guys. 2 minutes till the winner. And again, thank you everyone for being here. So this is a very clean blade. Like I was trying to think if there's anything that we could really add. And now I see that this is like a metal blade. Usually in World of Warcraft, they always add like this little nicks and things and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of like damage border or like border damage, because I do feel like that makes weapons look a little bit more interesting. So for instance here on some of this cuts, I'm gonna use trim dynamic. I'm just gonna, of course, I'm gonna turn on symmetry, but remember that we have a back and forth symmetry. Oh, it's getting cold in here. Give me 1 second. Feeling the freaking cold now. It's a caster weapon. Okay. Yeah, it's something that you normally don't use as much, but I still want to add a little bit of like details. So I'm gonna go here to tool, and or sorry, not tool, transform. I'm gonna activate symmetry. We're gonna change this to C symmetry, so that it activates the symmetry on the back of the weapon, because it's probably gonna be mirrored. Definitely gonna give it another. Actually, let me Dynamesh this. There we go. And now we should be able to see this. So I might just add, you know, a couple of nicks and damage here and there. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, and you're welcome. You're welcome. If anyone is missing this one, guys, on the site, I just released a free course for everyone. I might show the trailer a little bit at the end of today's live stream, but this is the portfolio presentation workshop, and it's a free 2-hour course that you can do this. Oh, what the hell? The video is not available. Wait a second. That's not right. Oh, David, can you help me with that? Can you go to the YouTube channel and just enable that public, the trailer video to public, so that it shows here? Because maybe it's because it's private. But yeah, it's a render course. It's a 2-hour render course with the material and everything included, so you guys can learn a couple of techniques here. I've shown these techniques before, by the way. Like, this is not something that's like completely new. I showed these techniques on the YouTube channel before. Not all of them. Like some of the technical renders, like the diffuse render and stuff like that. We got the winner! Who's the winner? The winner is Deformation! There you go. I think you were around here. Deformation. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations for winning the third giveaway on today's special birthday stream. So Deformation, if you're here on the YouTube or the Twitch channel, make sure to send me a DM on the Discord. I'm gonna be contacting all the winners through Discord today, a little bit later today, because I'm gonna finish the stream and then I'm gonna go pick my girl from her kindergarten. She just started her kindergarten today. Well, not today, this week. She's very happy. She loves having new friends and learning. It was very that was also very emotional. But yeah, I'm gonna go pick her up. We're gonna go get some food, and then later I'll come back and I'll talk to the winners to give them their free course. So congratulations to Deformation. And you know what, guys? You know what? Let's do one more giveaway. It's my birthday. Screw this. I'm gonna do one more giveaway. But this giveaway is gonna be a little bit different, okay? We're gonna give away a game. So whoever wins this giveaway is gonna get the Wukong game. Yeah, that's the big one this week, right? Like the Wukong game. So yeah, on your favorite platform. So I'll send you like a Steam gift card, or I'll send you like a PlayStation gift card. We'll find a way to get you the game, okay? So whoever wins the next giveaway, at the end of this one's going to be a 30-minute giveaway as well. We'll get the new Wukong game so that you can play it. I'm not sure if I'm going to play it this weekend. I need to buy it for myself as well. But I'm going to give it away. So whoever is the lucky winner on this giveaway will get the Wukong game for their favorite platform. Except for Xbox, right? Because I don't think Xbox is available right now. And there you go, Thom. Thanks for the sub, man. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, 30 minutes, Arn. Let's do a 30-minute giveaway as well. And here, as you can see, I'm just adding a little bit of damage with the train dynamic on some of the hard borders. Okay, let's do that. Smash. Whoever wins, like, I want to give away the Wukong game. But if you don't want the Wukong game and you prefer one of the courses, I'll give you the course instead, okay? So yeah, Bastis, you need to go into our Discord channel. You need to go to the events channel, and there on the events channel we're gonna have a little click thing, or like a party popper that you need to click, and if you win and you're selected, you're gonna get that. Winner is playing Fortnite. Oh, the winner right now is playing Fortnite. That's fun. I hope they win their match. Tadeo, thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. I missed your message here, but I'm scrolling back to see it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Oh, we're gonna go get a Costco pizza. That's gonna be my birthday lunch. The Costco pizza. It's a good pizza. Yeah, we're giving away the Wukong game, man. We're giving away. I mean, it's just like the Fables one this week. But again, if someone wins and you want to get another course, I'll be happy to do that. When will be the environment course finished? That's a great question. That's a great question. I've had some things that I need to finish and tweak on that one, but I really hope to be able to release it on September. I was hoping to release it this month, to be honest, but as you guys know, I broke my leg last month on June, and I lost all June. Like, it was very painful to be sitting down for long periods of times, to be honest. So I tried to at least keep the YouTube channel and the Twitch streams and everything going, but I was not able to record as much. I still had to take care of the studio and some of the other work, so it was a tricky month, unfortunately. But thankfully, I'm now working without the crutches and without the support cast, so I'm still not running or anything. It still hurts a little bit. Still doing. Actually, the bone doesn't hurt anymore. It's just the muscles and the tendons and the ligaments. All of those, they became quite like what's the word? It's not defective, but it's like they lose like force, right? Like they lose strength. They lose strength. So I'm doing a little bit of rehab to get them back. What are the key things to see getting a job in props and environment artists? Clean topology, optimize UVs, that sort of thing. I would say those are very, very, very important for any, like, specifically like modeling and sculpting job. Like, you need to show that you know the pipeline properly. And by the way, Casey, welcome. I don't think I've said hi to you earlier today. But welcome to the chat. Yeah, so if you are on the Discord channel, where's the Discord? On the side here, on the notice board, there's going to be the events tab. That's where you can click. The events tab. I'm walking now. I'm walking. I'm like normally walking. I'm driving. Yeah, I don't need any support anymore. Running, I hope I can run in like 2 or 3 more weeks. But I'm gonna be going back to the gym this Monday. I'm gonna be doing some swimming and stuff. So hopefully that helps. What about the key skills for a 3D artist? I would say good knowledge of anatomy, good knowledge of proportions, good knowledge. Oh, we got feeder on 8 level yesterday. Did you guys see that? Our anatomy course got feeder. I was so excited about that. That was very felt very good, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so good knowledge of anatomy, good knowledge of proportion, good knowledge of design, and as a character artist, you also need to know how to do topology and props. You're gonna be doing armor. You're gonna be doing leather straps, belts. You're gonna be doing, yeah, a lot of things there. Yeah, Costco pizza is really good, man. Yeah, we're gonna have a dinner with my family later today, so I'm gonna be having let's call it a formal celebration at that point. But right now, we're gonna go for a pizza. Yeah, best is go for it. One of the best skills you can have as an artist is stealing. But stealing in a good way, of course, right? Like you steal the knowledge because that's how we learn as humans. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be doing like upper core stuff, like arm strength, back strength, and on the pool I'm gonna start and trying to do like very simple, so like small kicks, but I don't wanna injure myself again, so I'm gonna take it slow. I don't remember what was there was. I kind of want to show you guys a picture of how I looked when I was way thinner, because I'm really fat right now. I'm really heavy, and there was a point in my life, that's actually the point where I met my wife, where I was really like lean. Like, I'm not sure how much I weigh right now, but I'm definitely on the chubby side of things. And at that point I was benching, like, I would say a good amount of weight. Would you ever consider polishing your work in 8th level? Lots of people do, and lots of students can learn there too. I don't think so. I don't want to like split my students into multiple like platforms, and it's not too much about like the revenue share or stuff like that, because I do know that 8th level has a good revenue share. I don't know. We're gonna have to think about that. But to be honest, I really like our platform. There you go, one more follow there from Jiraiya's Book Club. I'm probably going to be taking, as I mentioned, I want to finish, I'm reading the Oathbringer book from, Oathbringer? That's Oathbringer, right? From Brandon Sanderson's, the third one from Stormlight Archives. So I might take it slow this weekend and just finish that book. I'm probably like 60 or 70% on that one. Have you tried Stream Smooth Boarded? Yes, I like Stream Smooth Boarded, but I actually like it when it's a little bit more realistic stuff. So like for stones and things like that. For more stylized things, I prefer this one. Oh, nice. Which one are you reading, I'll reply. What book are you reading? Okay, let's see if I can match the symbols. Guntley G something? Guntley G's? Which one is that one? I don't remember that one. Okay, so I'm just gonna match. No, I think I'm gonna do that in texturing, to be honest. They don't seem to be, because what do you guys think? Are those like runes carved in, or are they just like painted in? They look more painted in to me, to be honest. Consulgrin? Did I recommend that one? I don't remember that name. Yes, that's what I'm working on. Wizard Seraph. So just a heads up, like some of the topics that I'm going to be covering on the environment course are modular kit creation, stream sheets, foliage, landscape materials, and landscape creation. And there's another one that I want to talk about, vertex painting, design. We do go through the design process, the blocking process, modular like construction. Yeah, so it's gonna be a good one. Did I 3D printed the last stream character? What was the last stream character? I don't remember. Oh, you're reading freaking, oh my god, I forgot his name. Drizzt, and the whole like saga, the Drizzt saga. Nice. Yeah, that's a long saga, man. Like he has like 28 books or something on that saga. Yeah, Era Sarbatore. Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. It's a long one. It's a long one. Yeah, Johnny, but we're not gonna be doing PBR texturing for this one. We're gonna be doing what's the word? We're gonna be doing hand painted later on. But yeah, we probably shouldn't mess them though. I haven't read Dragonlance. Yeah, I'm right now. I'm hooked on the freaking Sanderson. So I finished Mistborn first era, and then I jumped to Stormlight Archives, and those Stormlight Archive books, man, are they big? I've gotten some of the audiobooks to move through them, because otherwise it's gonna take me forever. But they're really good, man. I love them. Like, this dude has a world building expertise. It's just so good. I want to read some of the secret projects. I haven't read them, and I heard that some of them are really good as well. I want to read Lantris as well. Jam. I really want to. I think I want to finish Stormlight Archive, so that I can read the 5th book when it comes out on December, and then I'm gonna take a break, read someone else, and then I'm gonna go back and go through some of the secondary. Well, not secondary, but like some of the other works. Harsha 3DS. I don't have anyone in mind right now. See, the problem with 3D art or like environment artists is that environments take a long time to do. I know several like really good concept environment artists, like Eitan Sana. He's really good. But just go and look for whoever did like the environments for God of War and stuff like that. Those are really good artists. And the problem also is that usually environments, especially if you're doing a game, like a big game, again, like God of War, it's not just one person doing them. It's a huge team, like a big team. Oh, Simon, thanks for the follow, man. There we go. Okay. Cool. So we invert this. And I'm gonna use a deformation, inflate, very small. Like I don't want them to be super intense. And then we can use maybe a little bit of polish crisp edges. We could 3D print this weapon. You know what would be fun? To 3D print this again as a magnet for the fridge. I broke my dragon, guys. It was yesterday. I bumped against it and it fell and it broke. I'm gonna have to print it again. That was very sad. Going to the bathroom and I literally bumped against this. Like, oh damn. It just broke the big, like one of the horns. So I could potentially save it, but I'm just gonna probably 3D print it again. I want to do some modifications as well. So it's gonna be a little bit smaller. Now it's getting hot. It's gonna be smaller, and I'm gonna make it hollow so that it's not as heavy. And I want to see if I can get some of the like tough resins. There's some resins that are a little bit more resistant, because unfortunately resins can be quite brittle. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, ripped. It's still working, but it just lost one of the horns, like one of the big horns. Has another weird line right here. I'm not sure if we should add it. What do you guys think? I mean, it needs to be painted in, of course. I'm wondering if we should add it here on the sculpt, or even on the... Because we did have a clean topology that we could potentially do that line. Kind of looks like a weird trim. I'll probably just do that in the painting section, or in the hand painted section. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the high poly of the weapon, I think. Not bad, right? For, what was it, 2 hours, 3 hours? Got 16 minutes left. I'm a little bit fast. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the other things. Like I remember when, yeah, we could mask extract as well. When I was at school, and this is what I was talking about. Like everyone has strengths, right, and weaknesses. So one of my strengths is I think I am quite fast. Like I can model things relatively fast. But one of my weaknesses is that I think it's because I have a little bit of like ADHD or something like that. I get bored real quick after I finish this, so I really need to be disciplined and finish it. Otherwise, it's just gonna remain as a work in progress. So I don't have the patience to really go and just like clean it up. Are you gonna retopoing at the stream? I think we should do that. The thing about retopoing is that it's a very boring process. So it's not boring. I like it, but seeing it's not as fun, right? But we might do it. Maybe next stream we'll do retopo and see if we can do like a couple of bakes and maybe a little bit of painting. I don't know. Oh, that's a great question, Middle Master. So, if I assign this to a junior artist and I told them to do them, I would give them like 2 or 3 days probably. Like I would expect someone who is out of school, like who just graduated, to be able to do sort of like the full process for this weapon in a week. I think a week is a good amount of money and time, right? Like 40 hours. So it should take you about 10 hours, I would say. I would give you 10 hours to do the full sculpt, like the full high poly, and then 6 hours to do the retopo, probably 2 hours to the UVs at most, 1 day or so 8 hours to do bakes, and make sure everything's clean and stuff like that. And then if it's hand painted, I would say 2 days is a good amount to make sure that it's like properly hand painted. If it's PBR, you should be doing this in 3 days. Like 1 day for high poly, 1 day for retopo and UVs, and 1 day for textures. I would say that would be it. How do you want to be paid? With weeks? Yeah. Thank you, Stiker LP. Alejandro Murillo is asking, can I learn traditional art and then learn digital stuff art on my own way? Yes, I mean, not on your own way. You're still gonna need, again, at least tutorials and things like that, right? To be able to get to a nice result. But yeah, like traditional art is really good. When I went to Noman, the first year was all traditional. So we learned how to paint, sculpt, draw, perspective, human figure, gesture drawing, art history. Like it was design, like we Photoshop, Illustrator, like stuff like that. And then we jumped into 3D, and it, at least for me, it really helped. I know some people are not as what's the word? They're not as good with that sort of stuff, but for me, it worked. Yes. I've told my wife this. When I retire, or if I retired, if I ever retired, or if I get older, or if digital art just dies, I'll become a traditional sculptor. Like, easy decision there. It really helps. Yeah, it's not necessary, but it really helps. And someone, I did a short about this a couple of days ago. I think it was last week. And someone made a quote that was really good, or like made a comment. He said something like not every artist needs traditional art. Like, not every 3D artist needs traditional art. But all of the greatest, like, traditional, or like all of the greatest 3D artists knew traditional art. You know? So if you want to get all the way to the top, then knowing and learning about traditional art is gonna really help you. Martin David, how do I get clients for freelance? Fiverr and freelancer websites didn't work. That's a great question. So again, word of mouth really helps, and that's networking, of course. So if you can get, sometimes this is where I know I'm gonna get some flack for saying this, but this is where you might need to work for free a couple of times on a couple of projects, even if they're small projects, just to get your name out there, just to show that you can do this stuff. So here's an example that I'm gonna give you. Go to your local, like, neighborhood and look for a coffee shop. There's gotta be a coffee shop there, right? Like a local small coffee shop. Go there and be like, hey, I'm a 3D artist. Can we do a collaboration? I'll do for you a couple of renders, a couple of like cute little, like, you know, like a cute little coffee cup with eyes, like having a good time. and it's gonna take you maybe 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, and they're gonna post them on their site, right? And they're gonna get hopefully some interaction there. They could maybe offer like a promotion, like, hey, if you mentioned that you saw this little picture, we'll give you a discount or whatever. And that coffee shop might not pay you. Like, they might be like, we don't have money for that. Say, sure, maybe give me a couple of coffees. Like, you can do, there's ways to negotiate, right? Or you could be like, I'll do it for free. That's fine. I just need the exposure. Once you have that coffee shop, you go to another coffee shop. And now you show them, hey, I did this for that other coffee shop a couple of like blocks away. I was wondering, would you like to collaborate? And now you have something that can give you a leverage, right? Because you have something to show, and since they're the competition, they might be like, oh sure, how much are you charging? Oh, I don't know, $100, just a simple job, whatever. Like, money amount might vary, but that's how you can get sort of like the ball rolling, right? And that's just an example, and that's how you get your name, because maybe you don't get any more offers, but that person who publishes that on their website, they might get a message from someone that's like, hey, I own a sandwich shop or whatever. I love the little details that you did. Who did that for you? Oh, David did. And that's how you get the connections. That's how you get the ball rolling. That's how your name gets out there, because your work is out there and people will ask who did that. Okay? Again, it might not work for everyone. It did work for me when I was first starting. Like, I would do just some simple small jobs, and that got my name out there, and that's how I later on got more stuff. And again, it's sort of like compounding interest is where you get more and more information that way. CB Melumbra says, I live in a city with less than 5k inhabitants. Okay, that's a really small city. In your case, is there another city nearby that's a little bit bigger? Because 5k is definitely on the low side of things. It's definitely on the low side of things, so I'm not sure if this advice applies to you. I would say a city of at least 100,000 inhabitants might be a good way to start with this like strategy that I'm saying. Mr. J says, happy birthday, I bought your course of ZBrush and learning on Udemy. I need one more course of Maya. Is there any chance to get an offer? By the way, love from me. Now, we don't have any offers right now, but we are doing a giveaway, so you might be able, are we still on? You got 10 minutes, man. This is the last giveaway for the stream. You got 10 minutes, Mr. J. If you go to the Discord, right now we're giving away a free copy or digital copy of the Wukong game. But if you win and you want to change that copy for a course, I'll be happy to do so, okay? I'll be happy to do so. Yeah, so that's one advice. Here's another one, and this one also helped me, and this is again where relationships and network really helps. I'm sure everyone has, you might have a big family, you might have a small family, you might have a lot of friends, you might have very few friends, but you gotta have someone in your family or your close sort of like circle that is also doing like his own business or something like that. Go with them. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. My sister, she is a like a makeup artist, and she does like hairs and things like that. So beauty stuff. And his husband, he has a small, well, it's not, but a good sized kitchen where he provides food for, again, like companies and like catering, right? It's called catering. I can easily go with them. It's like, hey, I need to generate a little bit more portfolio because I want to start like offering my services to this kind of like industries. Well, how can we collaborate? They might not pay you, or they might offer you something in exchange, right? Like what we call quid pro quo. And that's how you get, again, connections. So there's ways to do it, guys. There's always ways to do it. And I'm one of those guys that always likes to think about the positive side of things, like how can you make it work? Like, don't think about how it's not gonna work. Think about how can it work, and that will open up more possibilities. 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that's good. It's not compulsory. That's a good amount of like components. Like that would be a good component. It depends on your portfolio. I would need to see it, Gotham, because I'm not sure exactly what your portfolio might be missing. But yeah. Sarn is a 3D artist as well. He's been doing a couple of characters lately, but he does a little bit of everything. Let's see, did I miss the question? Kosaksu is asking, what's the best way to go in portfolio? You need to pick the software that's going to give you the best possible presentation, independently of which one it is. If you're doing games and Unreal is going to give you the best renders, go for Unreal. If you're going to get your best renders out of Marmoset, go for Marmoset. So, a little bit of everything. So, if you're on the Discord channel and you're already logged in and they already approve you, San, you need to go to this notice board, and here on the events, you need to click on this party popper thingy right here. You still got 6 minutes to do so, okay? Thank you, Troy boy. Thank you for your wishes. Yeah, Sibem, that's a complicated situation to be in, and that's one of the things that I am very honest when I'm doing gaming portfolio reviews. If you want to be part of the industry, and your particular city or your particular country does not have a very strong industry, or there's no way where you can see how to offer that as part of the industry, you might need to move. That's the unfortunate situation of it. Because yes, you can make a name for yourself, start creating amazing portfolios, and you can get freelance work so that you can remain in your city and do that. But if that's not a possibility, you need to accept that, and you need to accept that, well, you can't have everything, right? So I know that, like right now, again, as I've mentioned before, I feel very fortunate that I can do what I do here with my family and everything. But I've talked with my wife before, and I've told her, hey, if the industry goes to shit in the next couple of years, and I need to move to the studio that's, I don't know, in Germany, in Italy, in, I don't know, Taiwan or whatever, we're gonna have to move. And she's like, yeah, I mean, if that's what we need to keep our family going, we're gonna have to do that, right? So you need to understand that there's sacrifices you're gonna have to make. And as we were talking about success and stuff like that, you need to understand that you are gonna be making those choices. So it depends on what you want, okay? Candle Bowl, will I be ending the stream after the giveaway? Yes, we're going to be ending the stream after the giveaway. So we are just a couple of minutes away, because I'm actually, I got tired. I'm not sure if it's because I haven't had a breakfast or something. Well, I did have breakfast. I had some waffles. My wife made some waffles for me. But I'm feeling a little bit tired. So we're going to be finishing the stream after the giveaway, which is just a couple of 4 minutes away. So before we announce the winner for the final giveaway, I just want to remind you guys that we have a free course available. Let me show you the trailer one last time. Here we go. It's a gift for you, my friends. One of the most common things I see in portfolio reviews are amazing models, amazing sculpts, but really bad presentations. And I don't want you to have that in your portfolio. Therefore, I've prepared this course for you for free, the Portfolio Presentation Workshop. This is a short 2-hour course where I'm going to be covering things such as light, camera, composition, post-production, technical renders, and all of the things that you need to create a clean render of the amazing assets you are creating. In this course, we're going to be using Blender. However, you can apply this information to pretty much any lighting or rendering software. This course is completely free, no strings attached. It has the files, it has feedback available, we have an amazing Discord community, and hopefully it's going to give you all of the tools that you need to create amazing renders. Make sure to use this information and create amazing pieces for your portfolios. And don't forget, always learning, always improving. There we go. So yeah, if you missed that one, guys, we have this free course going up. It's right there on their website. You can check it out. You can learn. It's just a 2-hour course, and hopefully it's going to give you some cool tools to improve your renders for the next portfolio reviews. I don't want to see any more just like a screenshot. Like, this is something very, very common. I'll just get someone who screenshots the character or the like little weapon here from ZBrush and just shows me things like this. No. We got to see some cool stuff, guys. So now you will have the tools to be able to do that. Okay? Let's see. Happy birthday from Whittle Boy. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. And can you make a video on render proper way in Real 5? We're gonna be covering that in the environment course. We're gonna be taking a look at rendering there. So it's coming. Homemade waffles. Yeah, they were good, man. Good way to start the birthday day. That's one thing that bothers me about the 3D industry. It seems difficult to find a stable. That's in every industry, man. I know we tend to be very, I think we get this sort of like tunnel vision, but literally go out there and ask your friends who are lawyers, doctors, engineers, software developers. this is more of an issue with the globalized way of how the world works nowadays, because offers and all of these things are just like moving all the way around. So Ivan colleague, what's up, my friend? Welcome to the stream. We're about to finish though. We're at the home stretch, or in the home stretch right now. 1 minute, guys, to announce the final winner for today, who's gonna be winning a Wukong game, a digital copy. We're gonna be sending him, if it's through the Steam, I'm probably gonna be sending him through my account as a gift. And if it's through PlayStation, David might need to help us with that, because I don't have a PlayStation. So yeah, if you what's the word? If you don't want if you win and you don't want the game and you prefer a course, we can go with that as well. To all of the previous winners, I'm gonna be contacting you today or tomorrow to give you the code so that you can access your code to your course. You're gonna tell me, of course, which course you want, and we're gonna go from there. Thank you, Mustafa. Greetings all the way to Egypt. There you go. There we go. It can be tricky on the entertainment industry, Miku Master, but it's also complicated everywhere else. So 13 seconds, 10 seconds to go. Here we go. Happy birthday from Norway, from Candlebow. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. And the winner is Beko Hawks. There you go. Beko Hawks, you are the winner of a Wukong game, a digital copy. Or, if you want, you can change it for a course. Congratulations, my friend. Congratulations, and thank you for being a part of this community. And that is a wrap, my friends. That is a wrap. Thank you very much, everyone. Oh, let's go full screen. There we go. Thank you, everyone, for being part of this. We even got emotional midway through the stream. I appreciate the support and the amazing words. You guys made me feel so good. Not only today, but with this project and with all of this amazing community that we have, it's been so good. So thank you, everyone. I'm gonna now go and have a good day here with my family. I'm gonna spend the weekend with them and just enjoy a little bit. But we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back next week with more content, more shorts, more live streams, more everything. Okay. So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy, and I'll see you back on the next one. Bye-bye.